Oh, shoot.
Hi, this is Elizabeth Montgomery, inviting you to stay tuned for Bewitched.
We're gonna go Hawaiian. When you're picking a punch, pick the pick of the bunch. Come on and go Hawaiian. Get a rainbow of taste, luscious luau taste. Come on and go Hawaiian.
Hawaiian Punch Drink Mix. 7 rainbow flavors.
With vitamin C, pre-sweetened.
Or unsweetened, just add your own sugar.
How'd you like a nice Hawaiian punch?
You drink the pick of a bunch. Come on and go Hawaiian. Enjoy.
I want my baby back. Chili's baby back rib. I want my baby. Chili's baby back rib. Barbecue sauce. I got my baby back ribs.
In one of these, and in one of these. One of these lasts 20% longer than a Duracell.
Two rights, the extraordinary Energizer.
In one of these lasts 20% longer than a Duracell.
Two rights, the extraordinary Energizer.
It'll surprise ya.
Independent tests prove Energizer lasts 20% longer than Duracell.
Prove it for yourself. Energizer. Oi!
The following program is brought to you in living color on NBC. You're watching WPXI TV.
If you think tonight's episode of The Highwayman is explosive,
Wait until next week.
if you like what you saw,
Come back for more.
Highwayman, next Friday.
Hey! What time is it?
Get ready to rewind time. This is the nostalgic Podblast.
That's it. It's Podblast time. How do you like the new theme? It's about 2 minutes long. I'll play the entire theme in the near future. But we have a guest, a special guest. Mikey, as I call him, is in the house. So I didn't want to keep him waiting. But, of course, this is the Nostalgic Podblast. I'm your host, Chance Bartels. This is the Nostalgia Show with a bite because it bites. But tonight we're going to talk about classic television shows that were memorable but that did not last long. And I want you in the chat to tell me what your favorites are in case they're not on my list. What are your favorite TV shows that lasted 2 seasons or less? I really want to know. Now, if you're in another land, that's fine. You might say, oh, I like Muhammad Knows Best. That was a good one. Well, I don't know that one. Or say, what about Mahmoud and Son? I don't know that one either. But just, it doesn't matter. Put it in the chat because you might mention one that I do know something about or my guest knows something about. But without further ado, let's bring up tonight's guest. Here comes Mikey. Hey, Mikey.
Hey, welcome everybody to the Nostalgic Podblast. I am Mikey of Mikey Seuss 4 channel on YouTube, and I am so glad to be here. Chance and I, we met through was it through Mogs? Yeah. Mogs, right? Mogs and Stevie B. Great people over there at Mogion Monster YouTube channel. Make sure you check them out too. So we met there and we started talking. And I said, well, my friend, who also shares the same last name as Chance, Larry, he brought me on the set of Highwaymen during the summer of 1987. And we worked on a couple of episodes together. He worked on all 10, actually, and he was a personal assistant to Sam J. Jones, who played the Highwayman role. And I got to party with Jacko. That was an interesting, we'll get to that story in a few moments. But I did meet some really awesome people. Jane Badler, oh my gosh, I was a fan. Like, from V, she did 21 episodes of V, both the V and the original, the return. She did all of that. And she worked, there she is. Oh, God. Wow. Yeah. Wonderful lady. Great person. And she also came back, did the reboot with Morena Baccarin as the lizard queen mom to Morena Baccarin's daughter, who was in the reboot of V, you were saying the Earth.
Yeah, the reboot. Yeah, on ABC from 2009, 2010. Yeah.
Yeah, in 2010. Yeah, so. Yeah, she is. And she's very, like I said, she's a very humble lady. Well, go ahead and ask me your first question, Chance. Whatever you've got to ask.
Well, okay, now you are up in Canada. You're in the Great White North, right? Like, what part of Canada do you reside in?
I am in Scarborough. My wife and I, we have 2 cats, Moonpie Deja Vu, and live in what is called Scarborough. Yes, some people make fun of it and say Scarborough Fair, and I say, yeah, my parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme to you. Because, yes, I'm old enough to remember Simon and Garfunkel, okay? I am old enough to remember that. Because I grew up as a kid listening to all those songs and everything.
Sounds of Silence, yeah.
We live just east. It's called Scarborough Southwest is the actual suburb. And it's just east of the main downtown area of Toronto, or what they call the Greater Toronto Area, or GTA. And I've been here now for about 8 years. Yeah, September will be 8 years.
But were you born in the U.S. or no?
Yes, I was born in San Francisco, California.
I was going to say, because you don't say a butte. You don't have the typical accent of a native Canadian.
I am not into the Canadian accent. No, not yet. Trying. Well, my wife is native Canadian. She was born in Newfoundland, St. John's. Yeah.
Oh, we have a lot of good choices.
Yeah, we met online way back in 2010. So we've been a couple for 15 years now. Yes, the Greatest American Hero.
Yeah, and
show as well.
Bryce is a radio DJ. He's listed a ton of shows, a lot before our time, but we'll get to all that in a little bit. I just want to put the comments, and yeah, Greatest American Hero is an excellent choice.
Yeah, that one lasted 3 seasons though. Yeah,
it sure did. So 2 or less. That's right, 2 or less, but that's still a great pick, Greg. And
it's still a good pick.
Joe Gutfeld in New York State mentions one with Shannon Doherty, Our House, which had Wilford Brimley, I think was his name.
Yes, he was. Yeah, Wilford Brimley was the grandpa in that. Yeah, and then I guess he passed away a little bit after that. So
Deidre Hall was in that.
Yeah,
with that on the cover of that show in my collection, my TV Guide collection. Anyway, that was before Beverly Hills 90210, and of course Shannon Doherty sadly is no longer with us.
Right.
But that was terrible. She died of cancer. But not to bring the show down. Okay, so now what we have in common is I started doing like background acting in April of 2010 on a movie called Hall Pass, and then I did Big Mama's House 3, and then Walking Dead as a featured zombie. And you did this old school. You were doing background stuff and stunts on a show called The Highwaymen and other things. Now, how did you get into that? I want to know what agency did you use? Was it like Central Casting, or how did that come to be?
Well, how that came to be was they had this. I wish I could remember the name of the casting director. Larry would know this because he is a SAG. He is the SAG actor, so he knows that pretty much anybody in the business. But back then, it was local casting, and anybody could come because back then Glenn Larson, who was the director of the series, wanted
Producer.
He wanted some desert. He wanted some desert background, and he wanted some of this, city. So what he did was he came to Phoenix right around early '87, and he found out that Phoenix area places we shot at were perfect. Even outside of Scottsdale, which is the suburb I was living in at the time, back in '87. So what we did, I was only 21 at the time, because we were filming these scenes during summer of 1987, and so I mean I was 21. I was happy because actually I was able to drink when I was 18 because I made it under the grandfather clause, and Arizona then approved it to 21 in 1984. So I got to party. I got to enjoy myself. And Larry was telling me they were just hiring local people to act and be, just to be extras, background and things like that. So
I call them background artists.
I came there.
Yeah.
So the first time I worked with Larry, my friend, we were in this area called Riata Pass, which is just northeast of Scottsdale, Arizona. And that's where a lot of the desert scenes and things were done for summer of 45. And I got to see the old bar that they used for the opening scenes of the episode, where Liz Kiefer is a waitress and all this other stuff. And Elizabeth Kiefer is a great actress, really wonderful person, very nice. And she can sing. Wow, how did I even know she could sing? But that was later. But yeah, so in this episode, I actually got to participate in escorting Sam and Jacko away from their truck. I was one of 2 MPs. Now, these episodes are available on YouTube if you know where to find them. I have all 10 episodes, including the pilot, downloaded on my own personal playlist. But there is a scene where I'm with this other MP guy. He's really tall, and I'm really short. I mean, I was only 5'7" back then, so I'm a short man. Okay, but as Jacko and Sam are walking off, I'm one of the MPs, and you can see me only briefly. So you have to really watch careful because we walk right by, and then it's out of the scene. They just told me to walk straight, have this real stern look on my face, like, come on, we're escorting these prisoners off the base or whatever. Unfortunately, I never got to meet Lloyd Bachner, who plays the base commander in the episode.
He was
really nice guy. Larry met him.
Twilight Zone, Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. He goes way back, Lloyd Bachner.
Yeah, Lloyd Bachner. Yeah. So that was one scene I did. And then another scene, we went to this old VFW place in Phoenix for Veterans for Foreign Wars. And we got to use it as our set for what we call the USO scenes. So one of the places there had a nice little picnic area. and that's where we did some of our, commiserating, with the other extras. We had lunch and whatever. Jane Bather comes over.
All
Now,
right.
Jane Bather, I knew her immediately from V. So I was like, I knew who she was. Very nice lady. So that's my story. So she comes over. She sits down with the rest of the extras. She didn't have to. She could have sat with Sam. She could have done anything. Sam had his own trailer. Jacko had his own trailer. So Jane, who felt a little out of place, she said, oh, you know what? I'll come sit with you guys. And we were just talking. And I asked her, I said, I had to ask her. I said, okay, Jane. So can I call you Jane? She said, yeah, that's fine. And so I asked her, I said, Jane, I said, so how long were you under for the, I was really curious because, for the V makeup, when her, face is peeled and it shows that she was under there from anywhere from 4 to 6 hours a day when she had to apply the makeup. She was under that. She was under that makeup and the chair and the appliances. Eventually, as the episodes were progressing, she said they cut it down to about 3 hours. So that was good. That was good. And she said, so did you get scared when you saw me? I said, oh, yeah. The first time I see you as a lizard, I got scared. I did. I told her. I said, wow. Ooh, she's a lizard. Yikes. Yeah. Because she was such a, like we said, she's a beautiful actress, wonderful lady, and a good person. And she got along great with the cast. She played Tanya Winthrop in the series. So she was like the boss. And I got to see her. She said, oh, by the way, she says, in the opening credits, when they throw me into that fountain, do you realize how cold that fountain was? She said, I caught the flu for 2 days after that.
Oh, no.
Darn that, Sam.
Yeah.
Oh. In there. It was improvised, too, she said. It was just improvised and pushes her in, and she got sick. Like, it was cold in there. Yeah, it was the fountain right outside. It's a fountain that's right outside our Arizona in Phoenix. It's right outside what we call the where the Phoenix City Council meets, right there in the Arizona office building, right outside the main building, and where they signed the Constitution, put the state into law and everything. And he pushed her right in that fountain. So I was just like, wow. Yeah.
Now,
so,
just some background about the show, The Highwaymen. This is Sam Jones, who you talked about. He's best known as playing Flash and Flash Gordon.
I knew you were going to do that, Chance.
What's that?
He's a miracle. yeah, I know.
I love Queen.
He also was in both Ted movies, Ted and Ted 2, as himself.
Oh, that's right. Yes, he was.
Recently. Yeah.
I want to play a clip of The Highwaymen. Okay, this is a brief clip of the intro. And who did the opening narration of The Highwaymen? I know you know.
I do, but I'm forgetting.
William Conrad. I'm not trying to play quiz.
William Conrad.
The great William Conrad.
You're right. Yes.
Let's look at a clip. Let me see if I can find. Yeah, here's a little promo, 1 minute promo for The Highwaymen, and then the opening credits. Let's watch.
When there's terror on the highway and danger in the fast lane,
Leave me alone!
It's time for a new breed of lawmen to hit the road. These lawmen ride the highway with a vengeance.
Who are these two men?
Sam Jones is the highwayman.
Take a step on the wrong side of the law, you get me on your tail.
Jacko is Jacko.
Bad luck.
Together,
we're assault
and battery.
Ride with the ultimate road warrior.
The Highwayman.
Get out!
Dealing justice in a world gone bad.
Watch us!
Two guys out to energize your Friday.
Aye!
Coming in 4 days, The Highwayman.
They say he came into this world from someplace off the clock. That his mother was an ice cold wind, his paw a fiery rock. It's told that on some starless nights his rig could up and glow, and folks who say they saw it coming swear they didn't see it go. Now you hear a lot of legends told when you ride the long, hard slab, of some who say the man is good and some who say he's bad. But all agree who've ever tried to play a cheating hand, you only get one chance to draw against the highwayman.
Yeah, that was the that was the intro to the 2-hour premiere, the pilot.
That's right. And you can see it was kind of like Glenn Larson, who a lot of people called Glenn Larceny, because he liked to take successful movies and turn them into TV shows. And obviously The Road Warrior was a big influence on The Highwaymen.
Oh, huge, huge.
And he did that with BJ and the Bear, right? BJ and the Bear. You're familiar with that show? With
with Greg Evigan. Yes,
Greg Evigan.
Yeah, that was like you know what? I really enjoyed that series. BJ
I did too, and that lasted 3 seasons.
It was done really well. Yeah, I thought it was done real well.
It was kind of a mix of Smokey and the Bandit and Convoy in any which way you can, except there was a chimpanzee instead of an orangutan, and of course Bear. The character of Billy Joe McKay named Bear after Bear Bryant, the Alabama football coach in the show.
Correct.
And he was like a Vietnam veteran, B.J. McKay. But yeah.
That's true. Yeah, and I was just looking at my flat. He says, you're on my TV. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, Joe, I also remember that one about Carl Weathers. We lost him too, unfortunately. Rest in peace. Yeah, Chicago Justice, which lasted less than 2 years. Yeah, great show.
Thank you for dropping the links. I have my moderators here. Keebs, as I call her, is dropping your link. And listeners, if you're listening at Fistful of Radio out of Atlanta, you might want to go to the YouTube channel to see these clips. It's not necessary, but if you want to, just Google search The Nostalgic Podblast. At the very top of the page, you'll see the YouTube channel. Click that, click the live tab, and then click the thumbnail image that shows Sam Jones and Jacko from The Highwaymen in a still. You can't miss it. It looks like something out of The Road Warrior. But about Jacko really quickly, he was a footballer in Australia.
Yeah.
That was his big that's where he got started. He was a sports guy who got into acting. Right?
Yeah. Now, here's an interesting side fact. Rob Bowman, who directed this episode, and I did briefly get to meet him. Not too long, because he was going to shoot a shot. So I just said hello to him. But he worked on Star Trek.
No way.
Yeah. Rob Bowman worked on Star Trek Next Generation. He worked on Star Trek Voyager. He worked on Star Trek DS9. Look him up, Rob Bowman.
Oh, yeah. Okay. See, I'm an original Star Trek fan. I'm nothing against the Next Generation, but that is really cool. That's why I didn't recognize the name, because I don't know a whole lot about the Next Generation, unfortunately.
Yeah, Rob. Let's see. If you don't mind, I'll look up his quick mini bio here real quick.
While you're doing that, Jacko's real name is Mark Jackson. And
I found that out. Yeah.
He's 65 years of age. He's still with us. He was born in Melbourne, Victoria, in Australia, in the land down under. But he's known as Jacko for his colorful and energetic personality. And you saw that endorsement spot for Energizer batteries. He had a nice little endorsement.
And did you know that after he was done, that's when the Energizer Bunny showed up?
That's right. You know what? We are so much alike. We're like cousins. I was just about to say that. That is funny. That is so funny. Yeah.
I was like, wait, what happened to Jacko? I was like, he disappeared. And then all of a sudden this bunny comes going boop, 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 like this. Oh, come on. Really? For a stuffed bunny with an animatronic bunny with beating the drum and whatever.
I guess they didn't renew Jacko's contract. Maybe he wanted too much for a renegotiation. Who knows?
Right. So he is producer, director, actor. He is known for The X-Files from 98 and 1993. He's been married to the same woman, Dusty Dawn Bowman, since October 5th, 2006. They have 2 children. He was born May 15th in Wichita Falls, Texas. I've been through there. That's a cool town. He is now 65 years old, this guy. Yeah. Yeah, so he's known for X-Files. He was on Reign of Fire as a director. He did Elektra with Jennifer Garner as a director. Yeah.
Oh, nice. I love Elektra. Yeah. That's a Daredevil character from the Daredevil comic book series. The old school Daredevil live action. Yeah.
Yeah. And before he worked on this episode, he did A-Team. I remember that. He was an associate producer for 34 episodes of the A-Team. That was just so awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that Daredevil with Ben Affleck, and Jennifer Garner. Oh my God. I forgot all about that. It was like just in the back of my lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Forgot all about that.
Right. So he was a producer for 10, and then he was a director for, all these different shows. Let's see if I can, like the X-Files. Oh, he did Mantis. Mantis was he worked for 2 episodes of Mantis. You remember that one? That was from 94. That was only a couple episodes, 1 season, I think, for that one was Mantis. He did work on 1 episode of Quantum Leap of Scott Bakula. He was on the Dark Shadows TV series, which came out in 91. Worked on 2 episodes of that. Yep, there he is. Star Trek Next Generation. He worked on 13 episodes of that Star Trek series. He was a director for 13 episodes. Oh, do you remember Alien Nation? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Alien Nation didn't last that long.
That's Kenneth Johnson. I interviewed him. Kenneth Johnson, who also created The Bionic Woman. He directed The Incredible Hulk pilot and several episodes of The Bill Bixby Show.
$6 Million Man, too, don't forget.
Well, he didn't create that. That was Martin Caidin, Cyborg. It was based on that novel.
Okay.
But when they decided to come up with a love interest, then Kenneth Johnson created the character of Jamie Summers in a 2-part episode of $6 Million Man at the end of season 2, towards the end of season 2. Anyway, he did Alien Nation based on the movie. Right. And he's been on the Podblast before. He's a great guy and interesting. And he's got a new book out, Home's Coming, about it's a time travel story tracking down Jack the Ripper. Kind of like, sounds to me like something like, remember Time After Time, that movie directed by Nicholas Meyer, who directed Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan?
Yeah, I do. I remember.
It was a similar kind of story. Well, anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt you. So cool. So he did Alien Nation as well.
He did. Yeah, that was great. You know what? I liked Alien Nation. I'm surprised it didn't last for very long.
And of course,
really
V. How could I forget? Kenneth Johnson did V, the original miniseries. He directed it, wrote it, produced it. But Glennie Larson was a producer. And like I said, most of his stuff wasn't very original. Battlestar Galactica, hey, it was just kind of like a spin on Star Wars, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
but let's be agreed on this, Chance. We don't regard Galactica 1980 as a
as part of the Battlestar Galactica OG universe, right?
Except for I don't even acknowledge it. The only thing I will say about it though, I thought those flying motorcycles were cool.
I did too.
Ken McCord and the other guy flew. Oh yeah, sure.
That was cool, and I liked the return of Starbuck, the final episode of Galactica 1980, where you saw him being stranded, and turned out he was the dad of Dr. Z, that little whiz kid on the Galactica.
Yeah. So that was right. So that was Ken McCord and Barry Nilsson.
Barry Van Dyke. That's Dick Van Dyke's son.
Van Dyke. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
Van Dyke. I got the right name. I got the right first name.
And see, that show's on my list, so we can scratch that. Battlestar Galactica as a short-lived show. It really lasted, the original, just 1 season. And then you had, as a winter replacement show, Galactica 1980 only lasted 8 weeks. 8 episodes. But I kind of like the pilot of that, where they find Earth and they use stock footage from the movie Earthquake, showing the Capitol Records building getting attacked by Cylon. Yeah.
And Cylon's attack. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was a Universal movie, and that was a Universal show. So they had rights to that stock footage of the Capitol Records building and the earthquake scenes, and they just added in a special effect of the John Dykstra Cylon Raider with laser effects, and I thought that was a cool effect. Actually, I thought that was good.
One of my, you're going to find this weird, but two of my favorite actors were actually, like you just mentioned, Dirk Benedict as Starbuck. Really enjoyed him. I wasn't a big, Richard Hatch fan. I know he's passed away, so rest in peace. But I mean, I wasn't a big fan of Richard Hatch as Apollo. Okay, I respected Lauren Green as Adama. Really enjoyed that. There was Jensen.
Maren Jensen. Maren
Jensen. Really, really good lady. And then of course Laurie Spain. Oh, Laurie Spain.
Yeah. And
what can you say about Laurette Spain? Okay,
I mean, she was a socialator at first. She was basically a space hooker in the pilot, and then they toned down her. Yeah, they toned down her character when it got picked. Yeah, a socialator. She was because remember they were on like this barge of survivors, and this lady, this older woman's looking at her going, "You dirty socialator," and it's implied that she's a lady of the night. And then they made her a nurse, to tone down the character, in the weekly version of Battlestar Galactica.
Right. But my other favorite from that series was John Colicos as Baltar.
Oh,
Come on. I mean, that man was the ultimate villain. Like, he betrayed everybody on the planet there, betrayed his entire race, everything.
And he could ham it up too. You've not seen the last of Baltar. Like at the end of that 2-part, after the pilot, the 3-hour premiere, you had the 2-parter.
Yeah.
Where sadly that was a sad one. I remember crying as a kid because Jane Seymour's character got killed by the Cylons, shot in the back. And I was like, oh my God, this is the way it was acted. It was like really well done. And with the music and everything.
Really well done.
But
let me ask you a question, Chance. What did you think of Boxy? That was played by Felix Tua. You knew that, right? The guy who also was Tweaky and another one that didn't last long.
Boxy's the kid. Or do you mean Daggett? The Daggett?
The Daggett, yeah, Boxy.
Well, that was a chimpanzee.
The kid was cool. Yeah,
Boxy, yeah, and that's Noah Hathaway. He went on to do the Never-Ending Story when he was older, by the way.
He did.
And he had my mom cut my hair like that. I had a Boxy haircut, like a bowl cut, for years.
Oh no, you didn't.
I did. I had a Boxy cut.
Oh man.
But what did I think? I mean, I liked the Daggett okay. And just for those that don't know, I'm sure everybody knows that watches my show or hears my show. Battlestar Galactica, right? In the pilot, there's a real dog called a Daggett that's sadly killed in an attack by the Cylons on Caprica, right? And like a building explodes and he's crushed to death. Correct. So one of the doctors on the Galactica builds a robotic dog named the Daggett for Boxy. And it was really a chimpanzee in an outfit. And
chimpanzee, okay.
It was a chimpanzee, and I liked the episode Fire in Space, which was also, they're using stock footage from other Universal disaster movies like The Towering Inferno. But the Daggett saved the day. If you remember that one where the Galactica, there's like a kamikaze attack from the Cylons to set the Galactica on fire. And so it's called Fire in Space, and the Daggett saves the day, like going through the corridors. And anyway.
Very cool.
What did I think of the character? I didn't think much of it. I had the little Mattel action figure. I still have it sealed somewhere, carded and everything. But
I thought that there was a human actor in there, but you said it was a chimpanzee.
It was definitely chimpanzee. I have like magazines, Starlog, that shows them putting the costume on the chimpanzee. It definitely was not a human.
Because I really liked, like I said, one of my favorite little people was Felix Silla, who not only played Cousin It, in the Addams Family, but he also played Tweaky in the
Hiya, Buck. Yeah. Hiya, Buck. Yeah, and he was I like Buck Rogers too, because that was one of the few times where Glenn Larson did not sort of steal an idea from a movie, because Buck Rogers goes back to the movie serial. So I was all for that.
Yeah, of course. And you know what was great was in that they brought back the original Crab guy.
Buster Crab. They sure did.
Oh man, I love that. And then that 2-parter where they had that ultimate bomb that was going to destroy New City.
Plot to kill a city. Kill a city. Marky Post is in that, looking hot as hell, by the way.
I know we lost her, unfortunately.
And I know. Oh
Today
man,
would have,
August of
well, no,
2021.
yesterday, well, tomorrow would have been her. She died at the age of 70. She would have been 74.
Her birthday is,
Yesterday.
I know this in memory. Her birthday is November 4th because she was born the day the Fall Guy premiered. I mean, not the year, but the same day. It's that always stuck in my mind. Fall Guy, which is a Glenn Larson show starring Lee Majors, debuted on November 4th, 1981. On Marky Post's birthday. She didn't come along on that show till season 2, replacing Joanne Flug as the bail bondswoman that Colt moonlights for. But I digress.
Right. Well, her passing, her passing was is tomorrow. So if she had lived, she'd be 74 today.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely correct. I might as well show you this picture. I have a picture, and then I have some other clips I want to show. How much time do you have, by the way? I don't want to waste all of your Friday night. I mean, not waste, but I don't want to take up all of your time. But let me see. I thought I had a picture.
Go for it.
I thought I had a picture.
Oh, and do you remember who else was in that 2-parter? Frank Gorshin. I was like,
yes,
whoa,
Riddler.
It's Riddler. I was like, oh yeah.
The Riddler. I thought I had a picture. Marky Post. I don't think I have it. Doggone it. Oh well. Let me just see. Oh. Well, I can show you this really quickly while I have my pictures up, I suppose. Let's see. Okay. Let's get back to some of the short-lived shows that lasted 1 or 2 years. Here's one in more modern times, really not that modern. It's from like the early 2000s. And it starred Pamela Anderson. It's called VIP, a syndicated show. And look.
I saw one episode, and that has Lonnie Anderson,
who sadly passed away. She died 2 days shy of her 80th birthday. God rest her soul.
I know. God rest
she
her
played.
soul.
What great casting though! She played Pam Anderson's mother in a few episodes of VIP. I think that's pretty cool.
Well, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. The memory runs in the family. That's for sure. Anyway.
For sure. Yeah.
And it was sad that she passed away. There's another like a one-piece shot of her. Not to go cheesecake on everybody.
Yeah,
but,
she was beautiful. And
she was a beautiful lady, and she wore a wig. Go ahead, sir.
Oh no, I was going to say she was married to Burt Reynolds, had one kid by him, Quentin, Quentin Reynolds, and then after she divorced him, she remarried. Yeah, she remarried a musician and was with him up until her death, and has 2 kids by him. So, yeah.
This will segue into another show that lasted only, I think, 10 weeks. Partners in Crime with Lonnie Anderson and Linda Carter. The problem was NBC scheduled it opposite the Love Boat Saturday nights at 9. They couldn't
that was
put
stupid.
A dent. Yeah, they couldn't put a dent.
That was the death knell because we all know Linda Carter from Wonder Woman. Next to Gal Gadot, Linda Carter was my Wonder Woman. That was it. Not even Crosby, who did the pilot. You remember that, the 2-hour pilot?
Kathy Lee Crosby, yes, from That's Incredible. Yes, of course. I have it on 16mm film. Yeah. Kathy Lee Crosby was the original Diana Prince, and the network passed. And her costume was terrible in that, by the way. Kathy Lee Crosby.
Terrible? It was disgusting.
But you know who played her villainess was a rogue Amazonian. Played, and that was Anitra Ford Weinstein. Her real name's Weinstein, but her screen name's Anitra Ford, and she was the first Barker Beauty Price is Right model next to Janice Pennington. They just had 2 models in the beginning. But Partners in Crime, really quickly, it lasted 13 weeks from September 22nd, 1984 until December 29th, 1984. And the network did move it Too Little Too Late. It didn't matter. Same night, which was stupid, from 9 o'clock until 10 o'clock. They did try to move it like within the last 5 weeks or so, 6 weeks of the show, to 10 p.m. But again, ABC had that time slot locked down with the Love Boat and Fantasy Island. Now, Fantasy Island was off the air by the time this show premiered, Partners in Crime. But anyway,
Ricardo and Hervé Villechaize,
that's right. That's right. Here's what I wanted to show you. You mentioned how Marky would have been 74. Guess who did turn 74 the other day? Catherine Hicks. I love Catherine Hicks.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, she was great in Star Trek For the Voyage Home.
That's one. Yes, and anyone that's listening, I'm showing a picture, a collage of some of her acting roles. She was in Child's Play, the Chucky doll movie, the horror movie.
Oh yes, I remember that.
When you were on Highwaymen, that movie was in theaters in '88. But in 86, she was in Star Trek IV: The Voyage Home. And I love that shot that I'm showing anyone that's watching in the upper left corner. That's where she was from our time. 1986 time, 20th century. And she winds up going to the future to Kirk's time. And then nothing ever happened to her character. I thought she would have been the one that Kirk should have wound up with. But
what was
nothing
the name?
ever happened.
In the middle picture that's there with Stephen Collins. What was the name of that episode? What was the name of that series? That
Seventh Heaven. Seventh Heaven. I think on the CW network.
That's it, on the CW. Or at least, before it became CW.
Correct.
So.
And he was in Star Trek: The Motion Picture, and of course, he had some terrible things in his personal life we won't get into that caused his divorce from Faye Grant. He was married to Faye Grant from V, the blonde, the heroine.
I know. And Faye Grant was was one of the early kids there, in Greatest American Hero.
That's right.
You knew that, right? Faye Grant?
I knew that. Absolutely. And she was even in an Incredible Hulk episode, one of the last ones, titled Slaves, where this black guy makes slaves of white folks in a mine and hunt for gold. And she's one of the slaves. And it's season 5 of the Hulk, the Incredible Hulk, starring Bill Bixby, Jack Colvin, and of course Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah, and where were you? Let me ask you this, Chance. Where were you when you saw the final episode of Hulk where he jumps out of? Should I tell the spoiler or?
Oh, please tell the spoiler. It's only been 35 years.
Okay. Well, the final episode, the death of the Incredible Hulk, where he jumps out of the helicopter as Hulk, but didn't make it and died. So, yeah.
And you know what? Where was Jack McGee? The stupidest thing of all was they didn't have Jack Colvin, who was still alive, and he was in the Incredible Hulk Returns from '88. So he was still game to play that character. Why the hell was he not written into the script? He says, "Oh my God!"
I never understood that. You would think that when you saw him in the pilot episode of Incredible Hulk, and you'd see him there, he says, "Don't make me." He says, "Believe me, don't make me angry." You'll not like me when I'm angry. And then, you see him in all these different episodes trying to follow him, trying to get to him, but you don't see him in the final episode, the finale of the whole series.
In the death of the Incredible Hulk. And I don't like that they killed him off like that. That was depressing.
That's kind of lame because, as we know from comic books, even Incredible Hulk can. Well, you've seen it in the movies, right? Where Edward Norton and all the rest that have played him, and Mark Ruffalo. This guy can survive really high jumps and falls and everything, and it didn't make any sense in the series that he died that way.
I want to stop and say thanks to Brainbender's Banter YouTube channel. She just made a generous donation. I really appreciate it. So let's give her a super chat. She said, "Good show, Chance." I really appreciate that donation. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I'll be on her channel tomorrow night. Lord willing, I have a bit of a cold, but I should be able to make it. Thank you so much, Chrissy. That's very generous of you.
Thank you, Chrissy.
And Joe Gutfeld said, Jack McGee should have been in that last TV movie. Absolutely. And you asked me where I was. I remember watching it in my friend Trey's house, friend at the time, Trey Agnew's house. Well, he lived with his parents. We were kids then, basically still kids in a way. Right. And I remember watching that, just being completely disappointed with how that ended.
So. Oh, I was sad. There have been a lot of shows that did that to you, that just they gave you a cliffhanger and at the end, and you were just sad about it. You didn't even know what to do about it after it was done. And a few of them did that. And and there's some short-lived Fox shows that didn't last long. I could go in a line here. Alcatraz, Dollhouse, Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles, all lasted less than 3 seasons for every one of those shows I just mentioned. They were all favorites of mine. I liked them. And I didn't, unfortunately I didn't get into Gotham, but Gotham they even tried a spinoff of Pennyworth, with Alfred, but that didn't work either.
I want to also thank Tracy. She just made a generous donation as well. Oh my gosh. She says, great show. Thank you so much, Tracy. You're much too kind. Oh my God. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I really appreciate you. And she's such a sweet lady. She loves watching the Space Giants on my channel, an old Japanese show. That's the one that lasted only 52 episodes.
Wow.
But it was
That's
imported
good
to
news.
America. But I've talked ad nauseum about the space giants. Thank you, Tracy's Fractured History More YouTube channel, for that generous donation. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Tracy.
$10. She
Yeah.
upped the ante. I appreciate
Yeah.
that. And Alf ended lousy, says Joe
Oh yeah,
Gutfeld.
he's surrounded by federal agents. Okay, now let me, if I may, I want to just briefly mention about Alf. Alf was always chasing a cat. I know Alf loved to eat cats, but he never did, not once. So I was okay. I was fine with that. But the way it ended, I mean, he's in the field, he gets surrounded, and then we don't even know what happened. So then later, right, chance they did a TV movie to show what happened to him, which was fine, but I mean, it didn't really resolve all the issues. So that was kind of, yeah.
I was never an Alf guy. I have nothing against it. I just never got into Alf. That's just me. But hey, I've got a picture to show you. I know you have a lot to say about this. What was Jack Webb's last show? Do you know? I'll just show you.
I know he was in Dragnet. I know that.
Yeah. Well, it's Project UFO, and this lasted only really a season and a half. I loved this show.
Wow.
Do you have any?
I remember this show.
You're not? Are you familiar with it or not? You're not familiar with the show?
I do kind of remember it. Yeah. Yeah, it was a good show.
Well, it dramatically.
That's not Mark Hamill, is it, on the right-hand side? That's not Mark Hamill, is it?
No, it's
not.
I
don't think so.
No, and what was cool is just like the other Jack Webb shows, it was based on real stories. It was a dramatization of real FBI files of
Project
unidentified
Blue Book,
flying objects.
It had something to do with Project Blue Book. I remember that.
That's right. That's right. And just some quick, if I can find my notes, tell you a little bit about that show. Just a paragraph or two, or just one paragraph if I can find it. Okay. Yeah. One of Jack Webb's lesser-known shows was also taken from True Case Files. NBC aired Project UFO at 8 p.m. from Sunday, February 19th, 1978, until Thursday, August 30th, 1979. There were 26 episodes produced, of which a few are available on YouTube with the original commercials. How about that, from 1978?
Wow. Yeah. Well, there was I just thought of this show that only lasted 6 episodes. Do you remember when Westworld had a Future World sequel, and then they did a Westworld TV series?
Yes, they did.
6 episodes. 6. That was it. I watched all 6, and I was bummed out, man. And then later on, when HBO brought it back, and they had Sir Anthony Hopkins in the lead role. They brought it back. That first season, fantastic. Suzanne and I will totally back it up. It was like fantastic.
The new Westworld then. Yeah,
but everything after that went, that was it. So if you want to see something for one season, watch HBO's Westworld for one season and get it to the cliffhanger and then cut it off, because the rest of it just went terrible.
Yul Brynner, of course, was the villain in the original Westworld, and he appeared in Future World too, the other movie, along with Blythe Danner. She's the mother of Gwyneth Paltrow.
Gwyneth, yes, that's true.
Hang on, that's Westworld.
True. And you remember, it was Brolin who was in the first one, and he is the father of Brolin, who ended up becoming Cable on that one movie.
Deadpool 2.
Deadpool 2, yes. So, yeah.
I actually I met Josh
Automan. Oh, yeah. I was just reading the chat. So, let's see.
Let me put that up.
I remember Automan. I do. Yep, I remember UFO Shadow.
Oh, yeah. And that's on my list, too. Hang on a second. The Westworld TV series from 1980, by the way, you talked about that lasted 6 weeks?
No, 6 episodes.
Yeah, 6 episodes. 6, yeah.
So 6 weeks, one episode per week. Yeah, so 6 weeks. Yeah.
I remember that too. Yep. There's 5 episodes actually.
Oh, there's only 5? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I saw a 6th one that must have been on a summer, clip. You know how they did that in the summer where they,
The old show debuted on Wednesday, March 5th, 1980. And the episode 1 was titled Westworld Destroyed. And then the last episode aired. It might have been unaired, actually. Yeah, it's unaired. You know, that's what it is. It only lasted 3 episodes aired, and then there were 2 more that never aired. The 4th and 5th episode never even aired.
Wow.
Just like Trauma Center, I'll mention later. Anyway, let me get to that chat you were talking about.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, good one from BK on the air. Have you ever heard of his radio show, by the way?
No, I haven't. No.
He's on Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. to noon, our time, Atlanta time, Eastern time. And it's all about nostalgia. No sports, no politics, just fun. and he unlocks a lot of memories. He mentions Planet of the Apes and Logan's Run. Yes. And those were not on my list. I have the DVD of that Planet of the Apes TV show. Well, 13 weeks. It lasted 13 weeks.
Yeah, and Joe Gutfield also mentioned Automan with that automatic car and the guy that turns in it. Yeah.
And that's a Glenn Larson show.
That is a Glenn Larson show. Yes.
Okay, I'm behind on the comments, so let's get caught up. Yeah, Automan. Let me find that remark or the comment about Automan.
Yeah. Yes, and I do remember, like I said, UFO, the Shadow. That was Jerry Anderson. That did that.
And you got it right because a lot of people call him Gary. It's Jerry with a G.
It's Jerry.
Gerry.
Well, I know that. He did Thunderbirds. Ooh. He did Space 1999. He did Joe 90. I mean, I was huge fans of those.
Don't get me started about that. But look at Tracy mentions ISIS. That was a great Saturday morning show.
Yeah, well, I did on Mikey Sues 4. I did recently.
Cameron?
If you go back and watch some of my previous videos, I did reviews of ISIS episodes from all 3 seasons. Or was it 2 seasons? Did it last 2 seasons? I think it was 2 seasons. Well, I know Joanna Cameron, who actually appeared on one of the early episodes of the Amazing Spider-Man TV series, which featured Nicholas Hammond, by the way. We did lose Joanna Cameron a few years ago.
That's
she
so
passed
sad.
away
What a beautiful
due to
woman.
the dreaded virus. Yeah. So.
Mm.
Yeah, and Project UFO. Yeah, Space Precinct. Yeah. I guess you could bunch Alien Nation into that too, BK. Yeah.
Alien Nation.
Alien Nation was huge then.
Hang on, I'm trying to look up the ISIS episode guide. I can't keep up with you, Mikey. Can't keep
I'm sorry.
up. I know. I was going to play at the beginning of the show the retro Life cereal Mikey ad, but I thought it might not be too funny. Yeah, 2 seasons. You're right.
It wouldn't offend me. It wouldn't offend me. I actually was named after that Mikey in the commercial.
No way.
He won't eat it. He hates everything. Oh, he likes it. Hey, Mikey. And I started eating Life cereal. My mother bought the cereal after they mentioned my name. This is a true story. My mother started buying the cereal, and I ate it. I loved it. Life cereal. It was one of my go-tos in the morning.
Well, I want to have you back on next time. I'll play that commercial in my little pre-roll video.
Okay.
But,
that'd be awesome.
About ISIS. ISIS, it debuted on September 6th, 1975. It ended on October 23rd, 1976. That's kind of weird that season 2 only had 7 episodes, and that's the middle of the season, right? It didn't even make it to the holidays. There's 22 episodes total of the original ISIS show.
That's true. Yeah, 15 on season 1, 7 on season 2. One of the best directors who's done lots of other TV shows is Arnold Lavin. He was one of the best directors, in my honest opinion, for ISIS. He did some of the best episodes there. And remember, there was a crossover with Jackson Boswick, who did Shazam, who did Captain Marvel. So they had 3 episodes.
Wait, one second. Was it Shazam?
Shazam!
I had to do that. And BK's friends with the star of Shazam.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, so Jackson Boswick, and then there was another guy that came in for him after Boswick stepped away. But there was 3 episodes that both ISIS and Shazam shared together towards the end. Yeah.
Carter Country, do you remember that show that BK mentions in the comments?
Carter Country. Yeah. Who was in that though, BK?
Victor French. Victor French left Little House on the Prairie to do Carter Country, and then when it got canceled, Michael Landon let him return to Little House, which is very big of him. A lot of times there'd be egos, like a Johnny Carson, Joan Rivers situation where it's like, up, you burned a bridge, you're out. He let him come back. I thought that was cool. Victor French was one of the stars, and then Keenan, the black actor. Yeah.
Yeah. But don't forget, Victor French also joined with Michael Landon on The Highway to Heaven.
Absolutely, in 1987.
Yeah,
they were good
and
friends.
I was so glad when they came back together. How long did Highway to Heaven last? Did it last at least three seasons?
About 3 seasons, yeah. And do you remember who replaced Victor French's character in Little House?
No.
Merlin Olsen, football player.
Oh, yeah, the football player. Yes.
Yeah.
Formerly of the Rams. Yes. Merlin Olsen.
Now I'm going to look up Highway to Heaven. I have the pilot and several episodes on my DVR I recorded like 10 years ago that I never watched. I never watched. I just wanted to have it recorded. I still have friggin'
so
cable
cool.
TV. Highway to Heaven.
Chance, you're amazing. I'm telling you, man. You are definitely nostalgic. There's no doubt in that title of yours. That is so cool. Yeah.
I appreciate it. I got to have you back on, man. You're a good talker. You really are.
Thank you.
There were 5 seasons of Highway to Heaven.
5. Okay.
According to what I'm looking at here, geez, it ended.
You know what? Those episodes of season 1 are available on YouTube. You can rewatch them in their entirety without any ads at all. They're available right now. I've been binge watching. I started watching the pilot, and then hi Michael Haywood. I started watching the pilot, and then the 2-part pilot, and then I watched the first full episode of season 1. So I've seen the first 3 episodes of it. I gotta find it again so I can start rewatching it again. I love that series. I did.
Can I tell you something? Josh Brolin, I met him doing background work on a movie called Weapons that opens today in movie theaters. And I got to do a small scene with him where I'm right behind him. We're chasing a main character. This isn't giving anything away. I'm not violating any agreement because this is in the trailer. So the trailers typically
non-disclosure. NDA, right? I got it.
Right. There's so many plot points that are given away in trailers when they're not edited correctly. Sometimes I avoid trailers, but I'll just say this because this is well known. All right, a teacher's students go missing, and the parents are very upset. And we're at a PTA meeting, and the lady that plays the teacher is the actress who plays the Silver Surfer in the new Fantastic Four movie. By the way,
nice.
Anyway, Josh and I are parents, and Josh Brolin's character goes after her after the meeting, chasing her to her car. And who plays the principal of that school? The actor who plays Wong in Doctor Strange. You have 3 Marvel comic book movie MCU legends in that scene. I couldn't believe it. The future Silver Surfer at that time was shot a year ago. Josh Brolin, who was Cable and Thanos, and then Wong. Yes. I mean, I was like over the moon. And Josh Brolin couldn't have been nicer. And he was talking about this. He invested in that liquid death water. It's like water in a can. It looks like a beer, but it's really just spring water. Anyway. But I'm going to play a review from JT of Weapons tonight. Our movie critic, JT, the man in the seats, reviewed Weapons and Wednesday season 2 Netflix, the first 2 episodes of that. I'll play it after you sign off. That's what I have on tap tonight in the Podblast. But
cool. Very cool.
Yeah, Josh Brolin was in that. Okay, so where did we leave off? We talked about Westworld. That was a good one. Planet of the Apes. I love the comments from the chat. Carter Country. I think we acknowledged all the comments.
Yeah, Planet of the Apes and Logan's Run both did become eventually TV series, and they both did not last very long. Both were also less than 1 season.
TNT ran Logan's Run, the TV show, like in the early 90s for a while. And I remember Angela Cartwright, Penny on Lost in Space, was in the TV show Logan's Run in a guest starring role. I was like, but she had like a little Dorothy Hamill do. It didn't look right. I didn't think it was the best look.
Yeah.
But speaking of Westworld, you know who ripped off Westworld in a way? The Stepford Wives. I always thought that kind of ripped it off. And then the $6 Million Man kind of had, and that was Westworld Universal movie. I think it was it was MGM. I know it was I think it was MGM UA. But they had kind of had these characters that were rip-offs, if you will, of
cool
Westworld.
Fembot on the left there.
Yep. I interviewed her. That's Sandra Gimpel. She played the Callahan Fembot. I met her. I met her at Stellar Fest, a new convention in the Atlanta, Georgia area in Duluth, Georgia. And she was a guest along with Marta Kristen. I interviewed her live face to face. And look, I'll show you her book. No, you would love her book because she talks about being a stunt person. She was the salt vampire in Star Trek, the original series. There she is.
Wow, that was her? Wow.
Let me
That's so
hang on
cool.
a second. Let me just
Wow.
All right.
I'm so jealous of you right now. Yeah, she's so cool.
And look, she was Will Robinson's stunt double and photo double. Yeah, at stand-in, which is unusual. They had a female standing in for Bill Mooney, but there's what she looks like today. She's still working in the business. So this is a really cool book, and it's called Stunt Lady, Sandra Gimpel. But you see her with this, and she also was the Ovion in Battlestar Galactica, in the pilot of the original Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, that's true. I've always said, whenever I watched both $6 Million Man and Bionic Woman, anytime you had robots, I mean, okay, so you had the great John Saxon, who is played a friend of Steve's who was replaced by a robot, and he fights him, and it's still one of my favorite all-time scenes. I always rewatch it.
Oh yeah.
Sloan. He played Sloan in that, and that was his friend. And then this is so crazy. There was 3 different times that Oscar Goldman, played by Richard J. Anderson, was replaced by a robot. And my favorite one. Now this is not when you had the other guy that did him, and the reason he knew that the one Oscar was a robot, because robots don't sweat. Because he used his bionic eye and said, "Oh, he's not sweating, so that's him." Yeah. But my favorite is the second episode in Kill Oscar, which was the 3 episodes. And in the second one, where Steve Austin is there, and he goes in, he fights the fembots, gets by him, he goes in there, and all of a sudden he hears this, "Steve!" And it's the robot Oscar Goldman. But he doesn't know that yet. So then, later on, he's giving away the weather weapon, the weather dominator or whatever. And then they have this fight. And the fight's in the hospital. And I think it's Rudy Wells who says, "Pull out his thing."
Yeah, that's not Oscar Goldman. Yeah.
No, that's not Oscar. Pull out his. Yeah.
The power source. It looked like a light bulb in the back of his neck, back of his head.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I liked it when he fought in $6 Million Man. You had Return of the Robot Maker, I think, season 2, because Steve Austin chops off the head of the robot of Oscar Goldman. He gives him a karate chop and severs the head of the robot.
Right. That was the one that he said, "Robots don't sweat." So
right. That's it. That's the one. And Henry Jones played the mad scientist that created the robot.
For 2 of them. Yes.
For 2 of them. And then John Saxon, after that, he was a Nazi in Wonder Woman. In the first episode that introduced Wonder Girl, played by
Deborah Winger.
Very good. Excellent.
I did not forget that. I don't know what it is, but Deborah Winger back then, I'm not going to say much more.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of, I guess I should get back to TV, but I was going to mention there is some interesting history. Go ahead, sir.
Mikey, I was going to say, I don't know if I got to finish, but I was going to say, other than the MP that I played in Summer of 45 in that episode, in Highwayman, I also, like I said, I played an army man twice. The first time, if you watch the scene where Elizabeth Kiefer and Jane Bowler are walking together, I'm walking in right behind them, and this is how cool Jane Bowler was, really cool. So she says, "Okay, when you're walking behind me," because we were going to be in the shot, me and this other young lady, this blonde, who was really cool extra. She and I were friends. So I said, "So the 2 of you, when you walk behind us, just stay behind us, just like, a couple steps." Because she knew the business, right? I mean, Jane knew how to move, go into a spot, do this thing. So when they're talking, I just go right behind them, and then I moved stage left over to this group of 2 other people, extras that were over there. The scene was perfect. They covered it in 3 takes. So I was just, that was fantastic. And then the last thing I worked on in that scene, I was one of these army guys that came in when we find out Greg Malavi shows himself with the huge bomb thing on his chest and everything. And I come run in. You see me in my full height and everything, and I have this hat on, the army whatever, and I had the gun prop gun in my hand. And before I did that scene, it wasn't Glenn Larson that told me this, it was Jane. And Jane said, "Look, when you go in, you're only going to be on for a couple seconds, she said. But bring the gun to bear. As soon as you run in, just go like that and point it right at Greg, right? So pointed it at Malawi. And I said, okay. And we did it in one take. It did quick. I mean, it just had me run in, pull the gun, point it at him. That was it.
You
and
did
Jane
good,
told me
kid.
how to do that. I would have
And
never learned.
You did good. And you took direction well from Jane.
Thank you.
Let's look at a couple promos for 30-second spots for the Highwaymen. Maybe you could tell me about an experience on one or two of these episodes. Let's look at a couple of them. Here's the first one.
On the Highwayman.
And work it. Come on, work it.
A billionaire body club.
Are you serious?
This is class, Mick. Upscale. Another planet.
We're ready to remove the heart.
What are you? Well, I'm God, with the power to decide who lives or dies.
Don't trust him, Highway. Waste him.
I can prove my innocence, Highway, but you gotta get me out of here now.
I want you to find Highway and Cody and bring them to me.
The Highwayman risks his life to save his old partner.
Excuse me. Did you call for a taxi?
Find them, Jacko, or Bonham will kill them both.
What about Highwayman? He's dangerous. Kill him.
Pull over, Highway, or you make me do something I don't want to do. A bad luck.
The Highwayman, Monday, 7:30 on 10.
Yeah, no, Billionaire Body Parts. I believe that was the title of the first promo you showed me. My friend Larry worked on that. Those dune buggies, they were actually on loan. There is a dune buggy club that I've seen before that works out of Phoenix, and I think they work over in Apache Junction. They do some tours. You know, they go to the Superstition Mountains. They bring buggies out there, stuff like that. So they brought a few of those in for that episode, and dang, I can't remember the name of the actor that played the billionaire in that. Do you know the name of the actor?
That we just saw there, the madman who's taking hearts. No, I don't remember his name. I don't.
Okay. Well, yeah, Billionaire Body Parts. Yeah. So there was that, and then the other one had, he was breaking his friend out, and they actually showed it was an old prison down in I believe it's near Gila Bend, somewhere around there. Because sometimes Larry said he shot scenes down in Casa Grande, Gila Bend, things like that. And I believe that's where most of those shots were taken. He was in that little prison cell. They got him out. Yeah, because most of the desert scenes were filmed around the Phoenix and Scottsdale Mesa area. So to make it look like Mexico. Like you could tell there's parts, but yeah. But that was a good one. Yeah.
Well, you were talking. Go ahead, sir.
No, I was gonna say I was gonna look up the name of the guy. I had it all queued up, and I was like, and I didn't. Okay.
Well, while you're doing that, I'm going to mention there's a little bit of history I want to talk about, comic book history, specifically, because on this day, 64 years ago, the Marvel Age of Comics debuted with the release of Fantastic Four issue number 1.
Wow.
That's right. It was on Tuesday, August 8th, 1961. Fantastic Four number 1 hit newsstands, and for one thin dime, pop culture changed for the better. And next came The Incredible Hulk in 1962, and Spider-Man in 1962, The Mighty Thor in 1962, Ant-Man in 1962, and all the rest. So happy 64th birthday to the Marvel Age of Comics.
Yeah.
And the date you see there, November, that's always 3 months ahead of actual time, by the way. That's just for circulation purposes.
Now, right. Now, Joshua Towler, who is in Billionaire Body Club, that's the actual name of it. Christopher McDonald, who has been in a lot of films. Yeah, he's still around. He was born February 15th. doesn't say the age. Some of these guys don't want you to know how old they are.
Yeah,
I don't know why they do that, or it's just some kind of weird ass thing they do.
It may not be ego. It might be because of casting purposes, but usually that's the case with, I would think, females. That's unusual that a male. But anyway,
but the main actress that I wanted to emphasize was Cindy Morgan.
Who, yeah, she's passed away. She was in Tron, of course, and Caddyshack. Yeah. That was her big break, Caddyshack, and she sadly died. Yeah, Cindy Morgan.
She died 2 years ago at the age of 72. That's so sad.
It is very sad.
Yeah, she was Yori in Tron. Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, so that was the late Cindy Morgan who was in that episode, Billionaire Body Club. That bummed me out. I really considered her one of the best actresses growing up. Just watching her and everything.
Just real quick, something else happened on this day in 1980, August 8th, as we're live. This happened. Xanadu.
Oh, Xanadu, yeah.
Xanadu was
lost. Yeah, today, 3 years ago, we lost the late
Olivia Newton-John.
Yes.
She died on this day.
Yes.
In 2022, on this very day, the same day Xanadu was released. Is that not spooky? Because she played a muse, right, in that movie.
Yes.
Basically an immortal. But on Friday, August 8th, 1980, Xanadu hit movie theaters, and the movie-going public at the time did not take to Xanadu, but they sure did buy the soundtrack record. Olivia Newton-John, The Tubes, Cliff Richard, Gene Kelly, and ELO, and more performed songs on the soundtrack. On anyone that's watching and not just listening, that's the official Marvel Comics adaptation magazine of the movie Xanadu. And as we said, Newton-John passed away on August 8th in 2022.
Yeah, and there on the poster there of that, to the left is Gene Kelly, his very last role. Was sad to see him go. And then Michael Pare, who was there on the right-hand side. Wasn't it
Michael Beck? Michael Beck. He was in Warriors. The Warriors.
Yeah, the Warriors.
That was his claim to fame before that. I thought I thought he was miscast. I mean, she didn't have the chemistry with him that she had with John Travolta, that's for sure, in my opinion. Definitely did not. He wasn't a very good actor. He was kind of bland and kind of wooden. Nothing against him, but I just thought his performance was very weak in Xanadu.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, I loved Olivia, says Tracy.
Here's a trivia question for you.
All right.
What song and what artist started Xanadu at the very beginning? What's the name of the song that was played and the group that did it?
ELO, Electric Light Orchestra.
Okay, and what was the name of the song?
I'm Alive.
You get top marks there, Chance. Nice.
Well, I have the soundtrack.
That was all the muses that came out of it. They were dancing around. Then Olivia pops in. And then at the very end, they all go, and she's all by herself.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
Amazing. You are amazing. That was great.
Well, you're amazing too, my friend. Let's see. Do you mind if I play a quick clip with Jacko? Bob Uecker is interviewing Jacko. It's 2 minutes long. I think everyone will enjoy this. Pretty funny. Just in case you want to get re-familiar with who this guy is. Mark Jackson Jacko. Here he is.
Well, my first guest used to play Australian rules football. Since that time, he's kind of taken our country by storm. And he's very quiet, easy-going kind of guy. And, well, as I said earlier, we'll let him tell you a little bit more about what he did and what's going on. But how about a big welcome now for a really good guy? This guy's a lot of fun, folks. Jacko, bring him out right here. All right, Jacko, great to have you here, buddy.
Listen, it's great to be on a show with an old stager like yourself.
All right.
Because I go back a few years now, an 8-year professional football career like you've just seen there, Australian rules football. It's a wild game.
let me ask you a question now.
Why
we just watched
don't you,
that
Bob?
video. Right, we just watched that video. I got to ask you to compare the NFL with Australian rules football.
Oh, that's a pretty hard question, that one, Bob.
Well, let me ask you an easier one.
No.
Compare them for me.
Well, it's pretty hard to compare because both games are so different, and of course, real men play Australian rules football. And of course, yeah, I'm only joking. No, I meant it. No, the difference is we don't wear any padding.
I know that. Yeah.
You know, if the coach sees you wear a Band-Aid, he'll take you off the field because he thinks you're a sissy.
Well, you got to take some real rips. You guys take some real knocks without pads and everything.
It's a real man's game, and of course we play on a field 210 yards long by 175 yards wide. So there's plenty of room to get in there and say, "How you going?" to the bloke next door. You know?
What about comparing, if you can? Now, I don't want to put you on the spot because I know you've played Australian rules football and you've been here long enough to
I'm really nervous.
To look at baseball. Don't be nervous. Don't worry about it. We all pit up once in a while. Don't worry about that. You got baseball here. You got basketball. You got football. What do you think about American athletes?
Well, American athletes, they're the best in the world. There's no doubt about that. But of course, they've got the population to support all the sports. Ice hockey, that game where they go around hitting each other with sticks. Basketball, where all those men that throw the balls in and they look like uprights. And of course, you've got that game coming into the country, that game called soccer.
Yeah, that's
that
right.
Indoor soccer where they kick a goal and go and kiss everybody.
Yeah.
You know, I come from the last frontier, and of course, Australian rules is the national game, and of course, we like to think of it as probably the toughest code of football in the world.
You and I talked earlier, Jacko, too, about a schedule. Schedule, right?
I lack a bit of confidence. There he is, Jacko and Bob.
Is this on? Oh, this is on. Oh, I didn't know. I'm sorry. I thought we were working off of here. There you are, right here. That's okay. Let's talk about.
I bought all the Energizers.
I know you did.
What's the longest lasting battery you can buy? I'm gonna surprise ya! New Energizer! It'll surprise ya! It'll surprise ya! New Energizer!
New Energizer. Now the longest lasting battery you can buy.
Bob, you're probably wondering how I got my hair like that in the commercial.
Not really. I've been around a little.
I can tell.
How did you?
Well, it's not a natural colour. Of course, I dyed the roots black. And,
Looks good. Looking good, too.
But at least I don't get a hole left in my haircut.
Hey, this guy, I told you we were going to have a great time tonight.
That's what it's all about.
Stick around, because we're coming back with more. And we got a video, and this video concerns you
and this is
with
the
some of your
one.
outstanding songs. What is it? What's it called?
It's called Me Brain. It's...
Wow,
what was he like? What was Mark Jacko like?
I'll tell you a story about Jacko. First of all, yes, he played in Australian rules football. He mentioned it to me once before. He says, mate, he says, you know, this is a footy game that we play without pads or protection, which is why I mentioned that in the chat comment there, which is absolutely true. So, what we did one day in 1987 during the summer, we went to go see Sting in concert. Sting, by the way, of the Police, was solo. He had a solo concert that night. We got great seats, okay? All of us did. And I'll tell you, Sting is still one of my he is my all-time favorite musician. And I got to meet him one day, just walking down the Toronto street. We waved at him, said hello. We didn't get a chance to really talk to him, but that man is tall. That man,
They look alike to me. Jacko and Sting. I think they have similar facial features.
They got the same. Yeah. You're right. They do. They do kind of. Anyway, to make a long story short, so Jacko and I and some of the cast, some of the extras, because he brought the extras. He was really good about that too. He like Jane was very comfortable with the rest of the extras. He talked to us every day. He gave us pep talks. He said, "Come on, you can do this scene. I know you can do it, mate. You can do this." Our last, for the women. So I mean, he was very nice, very polite person, and humble. Exactly what Bobby Good said. Rest in peace. So we went down to what they call the Mill Street Mill Avenue district, which is in Tempe, Arizona. After we saw Sting in concert, we went to a couple of bars. We got hammered. I don't really remember much after that. I got home. I don't know how I got home, but I do remember Jacko was a perfect gentleman. He didn't mess around, but he was a party goer. He was a party man, and you can't. What it is that Jacko, you couldn't enjoy yourself unless you knew him. And for the brief time I got to know him, he was, like I said, he was the perfect gentleman. He can be humble. He's not always this bombastic. That's the word I want to say. He wasn't always that way on set. But, I think that because as the series was progressing, Jacko was starting to become more, people wanted to see more of him rather than Sam. And that's not a very good testament to Sam, because Sam J. Jones was fantastic. I mean,
he's Flash Gordon, for goodness sakes. Yeah, he's Flash Gordon.
For goodness sake.
Yeah.
But I mean, this guy from Australia, comes from nowhere, basically, except doing those commercials, whatever. And he's starting to become more popular. So I think maybe that was one of the reasons they didn't last very long, longer than the 10 episodes. Yeah, I have a feeling. But anyway, as I said, Jacko was a perfect gentleman. He treated all of us equally and fairly, all of us extras that worked on the show. And Larry said he laughed every time he heard from him, because, like I said, Larry, my friend, was personal assistant to Sam. So he was the gopher. He said, Sam says, "Go get this, please, Larry." Larry said, "Yep." And he would go get that, boom, boom, that. And then he acted in it on every single episode. So even the pilot. So I was very, very pleased and very honored to be there with Larry to work on 2 episodes. That was a lot of fun. Now, the other one, real quick, Send in the Clones, which had Howie Long. Howie Long used to play for the Oakland Raiders. What a great guy. I mean, wonderful. And, of course, the late Terry Carter, who we lost back in 2023, who originally, was Battlestar Galactica, Commander Ty.
No, not Boomer. He was, Ty, correct. Commander Ty.
Commander Ty, right. So I met him. I talked to him. We actually talked. We were at this, what is called the Phoenix Little Theater in town. It's in downtown. It's located very close to where the Phoenix Symphony Hall is. And this is where we shot the indoor shots of Send in the Clones. And and how cool was it that they were in downtown Phoenix but made it look like New York City, right? And so they took, last minute, they had the cabs that were doing our local radio station, which was KTAR. So what they did was they substituted the K for a W. They made it WTAR. And so, so they made it look like downtown New York. And then when we were in the little theater area there, I was in 3 different. I know you can see me in at least one of them. I'm not sure about the other 2, so I don't want you to painstakingly, unless that's what you want to do, go look for me in the crowd. But we were watching this laser light show, and I was in the crowd for when when Carter and one of the other guys that was there, one of the other actors, came and talked to the mayor of the city, and he's sitting there, and I'm sitting not very far from where he is. Probably I'm like a row or so over, so you can briefly see my face, but I'm there. And then there was another scene where they showed me clapping, and Jacko is up on stage. He's shooting at these other 3 clones that are trying to kill, Howie Long's clone. And so, he shoots his big barrel, that what we call a blood buster, something. It's a buster gun weapon, and so he was shooting that and a prop, and it was cool, And so they showed me in the thing for that real quickly, and then they showed me on an upstairs scene. They wanted me in a quick background scene. They go background, so they wanted me in a background scene where I was way up on this one, elevated area of the theater, and I'm watching the show, and they caught the back of me there and side of me. So yeah, so I was in 3 different shots of that episode. So send in the quotes. That was the one right after Summer of 45. So I was blessed. I missed it.
Very cool. Do you remember what was on opposite The Highwaymen on CBS and ABC? The Highwaymen aired
You're
Friday
gonna hate
night.
me because I don't
okay.
really. I concentrated.
I'll let you know. Well,
Yeah.
The Highwaymen debuted on March 4th, 1988, and it ended on May 6th, 88. Unfortunately, it was on Friday nights at 8 o'clock on NBC. Same thing they did with V, right? Poor Jane Badler. She got stuck on Friday night with V, the series.
Damn that Glenn Larson. Damn Glenn.
It was the network. It was
well, I can blame Larson. I want to.
You know what was opposite? I'll tell you. The debut season of Full House on ABC, huge hit.
There you go.
And Beauty and the Beast on CBS, which was
that one with Ron Perlman. Oh, it's the Beast. Yes. Oh, and guess who was also on that? Linda Hamilton.
Right. I'm going to make sure that's the same one because I thought Beauty and the Beast was like 1992.
Yeah.
I don't remember it being in the 80s.
Yeah.
No, that is it. You're right. It says right here, Beauty and the Beast. I didn't know it debuted that early on. It debuted on September 25th, 1987. Linda Hamilton, Ron Perlman. There it is. And Roy Doctris was in it, who played Commissioner Simmons in Space 1999. That a-hole. Remember over Commander Koenig? And how about this in the news? They're talking about putting a base on the moon finally.
Yay.
And nuclear. Yeah, I know. I mean, hopefully it'll be in our lifetimes that we see the completion of that. If that's
I
true.
hope so, but then again,
hopefully the moon won't blow out of Earth
blow
orbit. Hopefully the moon there won't be a nuclear catastrophe.
See, you're thinking the same lines as I am. And that's still a great Barbara Bach, Mark Leonard, guys that the actors that were in Mission Impossible. I mean,
Mark Leonard, who was Sarek in Star Trek, of course.
Correct.
And he was a Romulan before that, and he was a Klingon in Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
Yeah.
He played all 3 of the main alien races of the Star Trek universe, the original Star Trek universe. And John Colicos, who you talked about earlier, he was the first on-screen Klingon in Errand of Mercy, the end of season 1 of the original Star Trek. He, of course, was Baltar. You haven't seen the last of Baltar.
Yeah.
And he got his head chopped off in the theatrical Battlestar Galactica by the Cylon, and then they saved him when it got picked up as a weekly series. Anyway.
Correct.
Remember?
Yeah.
Yes.
So he played Commander Koenig. But
Koenig.
The thing is Koenig, But the thing is that
what did you say? Wait, back up. What did you say about Commander Koenig?
No, I mean that's who he played. Commander Koenig was who Mark played.
Martin Landau.
Yeah.
I think he said Mark Leonard. I got confused. I'm sorry.
It's not Mark Leonard.
Martin
but
Landau.
I know Barbara Bach was in it. Martin Landau. That's it. Sorry.
Landau.
Martin Landau.
Okay, no, I just was confused.
I was correcting myself. Martin Landau and Barbara Bach. But
Barbara Bain. Barbara Bain. It's okay.
Mission. Yeah.
You're thinking of Barbara Bach from The Spy Who Loved Me.
I'm thinking of the other one.
It's okay. You're thinking of Barbara Bach, who is Mrs. Ringo Starr. They met on the set
not
of
anymore.
Pavement.
They divorced.
No, they didn't. They did not.
Didn't?
No.
Oh, I thought they did.
No. They're still going strong.
Barbara Bain. Okay. So again, Martin Landau, Barbara Bain, who did both appear in Mission Impossible.
That's
with
right.
Peter. Yeah.
Peter Lupus and all the
Peter Lupus.
And last thing I'll say about Highwaymen from my TV Bible, it says The Highwaymen was a fantasy action series starring a big high-tech truck. The giant 16-wheeler, which looked a bit like a misshapen hot dog, was heavily armed, virtually impenetrable, and equipped with much, I can't read, with much, hang on a second, was equipped with much utilities, such as a cab that converted into a helicopter. I don't remember that.
Yeah, there was one day that Larry and I were there, and we got to see the helicopter come out of the let itself come out of the truck. Yeah. That was fun. Yeah. We did get to see that at least one time. Yeah. But the truck itself is huge. I mean, it was big. I mean, yeah. But anyway, going back quick to Space 1999, Martin Landau and Barbara Bain, and then don't forget, Maximilian Schell's daughter came in season 2. Remember the Shell actress? Yeah, she came in season 2. She
Catherine
played
Shell. Maya. Right
Maya.
here.
Maya. Yeah.
Maya. Yep.
There she is. Oh, you got a signature? You lucky dog.
Yeah. Well, this is just a rubber stamp, but she signed over 55 items for me for free when I met her in the year 2000 in New York City at the Crown Plaza Hotel.
Oh, at the Crown Plaza. Wow. You moved up in the world there, Chance.
It was a fan meet and greet situation, but I'm doing like a Captain Kirk in The Wrath of Khan when he puts on his reading glasses. He's like, damn. So I was trying to read just a little bit more about the Highwaymen. For some reason, I'm having issues seeing. Okay, so it was equipped with the helicopter. You just told that story about the cab that converted to a helicopter, allowing nifty escapes from danger. In the 1987 TV movie in which the series was based, the truck could also become invisible.
Yes.
I forgot about that. But that was dispensed with when it became a weekly series. Piloting this monster rig along the highways of America was a muscular, leather-clad crime fighter called only the Highwaymen, one of a team of special federal marshals, highwaymen, empowered to right wrongs, where ordinary laws do not reach.
Correct.
And to haul sensitive government cargo. Jacko was his growling, break down the doors Australian partner, and Mrs. Winthrop, the beautiful but tough controller who gave him his rolling orders. Yeah. DC was the hip black electronics wizard who kept all the toys working. I guess it's a take on TC from Magnum PI.
No, well, actually, is DC Montana was a take on the Star Trek, one of those
the writer
people that wrote the DC Fontana. Yes,
Dorothy Fontana.
Yes, well, she called herself DC Fontana.
She did,
but
because back then they didn't want to reveal she was a woman, which was ridiculous. A woman writer.
Right.
DC was the hip.
The DC Montana character for Tim Russ was named after her. Yes, as a homage. That's what Glenn Larson said.
I like that. And it says produced by Glenn Larson, who also brought us, couldn't you guess, Knight Rider.
Of course he did. With David Hasselhoff.
That's right. But that lasted 4 seasons, so that doesn't count as a short.
Yeah, that doesn't count. That lasted more than 3. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? You do look more authoritative with your glasses on there.
I never wear these. They didn't even work. Like they're my reading glasses. Sometimes I don't even need them. But thank you.
Yeah.
I'll use them for a look if I have another. If I have a specific like acting or background acting gig or something, I'll wear them. I've never worn those on a set ever or anything. I've never worn them.
Once in a great while, I'll wear my reading glasses. My brother actually gave them to me, Phil. They look like glasses that John Lennon used to wear after he left the Beatles. So
hey,
they're kind of like reading glasses.
There you go. Joe Gutfeld mentions Blue Thunder. Any thoughts on Blue Thunder?
That was a good series. Yeah. What was the other one that reminded me of Blue Thunder?
Thank you.
Airwolf. Airwolf with Jan Michael Vincent and Ernest Borgnine. But I think that lasted more than 3 seasons, didn't it?
Yeah,
That
Airwolf.
series? Airwolf.
Here, look, I've got a list here. I don't want to keep you too much longer. We've gone an hour and a half. I mean, if you're cool to hang a little longer, I don't want to take you away from your wife
I'm
or your
cool.
wife.
I'm cool with it. I'm retired. I can do anything.
All right. That's a great thing. Okay, here was number 1 on my list, and you've already talked about this, so we don't have to go. UFO, as it's called in the show,
UFO,
audibly.
Shadow, yes.
Set in the year, get this, 1980. Jerry Anderson. I love that opening theme. I love that theme music of UFO. Can't play it because I'll get a copyright claim.
Yeah, no, you can't do that. But you know what I love? But I gotta say though, yes, it's a great theme song, but I still think Space 1999 with that guitar and and you hear the first chords, and you see where the ship is falling. You know the
eagle.
The eagle.
Here, I'll do it.
Eagle,
check it out.
Eagle thing goes.
Look, here it is.
And then yeah, exactly.
That's Barry Gray scored that music, and then they had a new composer come in for season 2, Derek Wadsworth, and they had an electronic theme, more synthesizer, and a great strong drum beat like Hawaii Five-O's theme.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Last
minute copyright. Tracy says.
I know. I saw that.
Copyright.
It's
so
you know how many episodes of UFO there were? I'll just tell you. There's
actually I don't know, but I know it wasn't very many though.
26.
26. Wow.
Only 26 episodes.
Let me see. Now that you mentioned UFO, with the Shadow Company and everything,
Shadow. Yeah.
I want to do. I do one of those shows for next year that I want to do. As you know, I do pop culture shows right now, Mondays and Tuesdays at 12 noon straight up Eastern. I do 2 episodes of Red Dwarf. I'm almost done with Red Dwarf. I'm in season 12 right now. And then I also have 2 episodes of TOS, the original Star Trek. I'm on season 2 right now for that. And then on Tuesdays, I do 2 episodes of Get Smart. I'm on season 2 for that with Don Adams, Barbara Feldon, Edward Platt, Dick Gautier, who was Jaime, Agent 13, who was the dog. And then you have 2 episodes of what I consider the greatest, and I mean, for me, the greatest TV series ever created from 1983 to 1987, The A-Team. Bar none. And I do 2 episodes of The A-Team also as a review. So,
I'm on
season 4 of that right now. Yeah,
I'm doing a series on the starlets of Star Trek, and I left off towards the end of season 1. Joe Gutfeld in New York's been waiting for me to get back on track with that. But you mentioned Dick Gautier. You know, his wife was Barbara Stewart. She played Sergeant Carter's girlfriend in Gomer Pyle, USMC. And Dick Gautier, Jaime the Robot.
I know that. Yeah,
he was a great caricature artist. He could draw just like Martin Landau. Martin Landau started in the business, or started a career doing caricatures
as an artist, right?
As an artist in New York City.
Yes.
So, Space 1999, we talked about that. So the 2 seasons, how many episodes? There's 24 episodes per year. So 48 total episodes of Space 1999. How about this? Let's see. What else do I have here that you could speak to? The Prisoner, 17 episodes, 1967.
Yeah, that was Edward Mulhare, wasn't it?
Patrick
McGugan.
That's it. Thank you.
Patrick McGugan. Yes. Or McGugan. I know. They're all.
It debuted on October 1st, 1967 with the episode titled The Arrival, ending on February 4th, 1968 with the finale titled Fallout. There you go.
Oh, Patrick McGowan. Thank you. Yes. Thank you, Tracy. Yeah.
Oh, you are so good looking at the chat. I am too, but I can't see because I was reading my notes.
I don't mind helping. If you
please,
don't mind me,
you are such a big help because I do not want to neglect anyone that's taken the time out of their Friday night to watch my show, our show
together.
I might want to make you a permanent co-host. No,
hey, now that'd be cool. You know, you and I could talk about all sorts of things. Believe me.
Tell you what,
everything.
I got a cartoon, huh?
Yeah. Oh no, Go ahead.
Finish your thought. Finish your thought. What were you going to say?
Oh no, I was going to say my favorite comic book growing up was Spider-Man.
Mine
That
too.
was my very first one. Love
Mine
that.
too. Oh my god! And then the Fantastic Four, but Spider-Man is my number one.
Well, we
Wow.
just saw Fantastic Four First Steps. Suzanne and I did. We saw.
What did you think? Oh, we got to stop and talk about it briefly, and we'll get back to TV. Short-lived TV.
We will.
What did you think?
I liked it. Okay. I don't think Pedro Pascal gets the credit he deserves for playing Mr. Fantastic, for playing Reed Richards. I don't think he gets a lot of credit for that. He did all right. Okay, he's not the best at it. Let's be honest. I forget the others. You know, Johnny Storm. I'm still a Chris Evans fan. He's my Johnny Storm. I'm sorry.
He went on to play Captain America. Most people know that.
Yeah. As far as the Invisible Girl, Sue Storm, I still think
Kirby.
that it. Yeah. And yeah, and then the guy that played Thing. Yeah, he did a good job. I like the guy that played Thing. And yeah, I enjoyed the movie. I gave it a B. That was my grade for that.
I want to see it a second time. I've only seen it one time, but the box office dropped off. I don't know why, because it's not a bad film. And I really liked Shia LaBeouf, the Silver Surfer.
Oh, yes.
I thought it was really,
yeah.
What gave me chills.
You remember the first Silver Surfer. The voice was Lawrence Fishburne, right? He was the voice of the Silver Surfer in that one. And that was the male. And then I remembered the comics. I said, wait a second, there is actually there's one more Silver Surfer other than the male one. And I said, there is a female one, Shia
There
LaBeouf.
sure is.
And they show her in this. And did you, no spoilers, but did you like the ending? Did you like the
I did. And I think that explains how they're going to bring the 1960s alternate universe Fantastic Four to our MCU with the Avengers, et cetera, et cetera. I think it's going to be a time machine of Doctor Doom, but I don't know.
So.
Because he had a time machine when he was first introduced in Fantastic Four issue 5 way back in 1962.
Right. Now, is Avengers Secret Wars, is that supposed to come before Doomsday?
It's after,
Avengers
because
Doomsday?
if you recall, it says the Fantastic Four will return in Avengers Doomsday. I believe I'm correct. And then the Secret Wars. I wonder if they'll have the Beyonder. Did you read comic books? You did, because you read Spider-Man. So did you read the Secret Wars original 12-issue miniseries from 83 and 84?
I did, yeah.
So you know about the Beyonder. He's like a godlike being who summons. He wants to have a battle between good and evil to determine what's the bigger.
Who deserves to live and who deserves to die. And
that's right. Oh, wow, Joe. Joe says he still has all my old Spider-Man comics from 1980 and 81. Very cool.
Hey, Joe, did you ever get to watch that TV series, which featured, by the way, Joanna Cameron from ISIS in a couple of episodes? Miss Joanna Cameron, who we said we lost, a couple years ago. Rest in peace. But Nicholas Hammond. And, it was, you know what? I really enjoyed it back then. To me, the live-action Spider-Man was cool, until Tobey Maguire came along. But, so.
Well, I love the Tobey Maguire. It's going to be back in the big screen, the 2002 Spider-Man. I liked it, but have you seen the Nicholas Hammond 1977, which predated the Incredible Hulk by a couple months, by the way, on CBS? The movie, the first one, it was out first before.
Yeah,
Kenneth
I
Johnson's
downloaded
Incredible
every episode. Yeah, I downloaded every episode of the Amazing Spider-Man with Nicholas.
That's a perfect short-lived show. Thank you for bringing it up. That totally fits. So the effects don't bother you in retrospect? I mean, at how it looks today?
No, the effects. Well, okay, you got to understand. Back then in the 70s, okay, like some of the miniatures I know were stolen from Star Wars. When Star Wars came out in 77. Oh, yeah, there you go, Joe. Yeah, I used to watch the Spider-Man TV show. Me too. Loved it. Loved it. I was, of course, when it came out, I was only like 11 or 12 years old. So,
yep.
Memories.
Hey,
Joe, back.
Nice job on the Tonight Show last night, by the way. I'm kidding. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. Yeah, she was in a bikini in the episode you mentioned. Yes, she was.
God, who knows his stuff?
Well,
Joe Gutfeld.
She played this. Miss Joanna played this competitive reporter from another city wasn't, where they had the okay, well, it's not Metropolis, it's not Gotham. I'm trying to what was the name of the city in Spider-Man? Do you remember the name of the city?
New York. It's New York. They don't have a fake.
It is New York, but there was something they called it.
Oh, you mean is it Brooklyn? Is it Manhattan? Is it the Bronx? Yeah. It's Manhattan.
Well, okay, it's plain New York, I guess. Sure. Her character was from Miami. Okay.
Joe
awesome,
said.
Joe. Thank you. Yeah, she came up from Miami, the Miami Herald. That's right. And then so she was in bikini and she was attracted to Peter Parker.
I loved the newspaper syndicated Spider-Man strip. My local paper didn't have it. My dad he got the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. The morning paper, the evening paper, the Atlanta Journal did carry Spider-Man, but we didn't get that. My cousins in Boston, the Boston Globe, they got Spider-Man. So when I'd visit my cousins some summers and they have property in Maine, long story short, I would clip all their newspapers that had Spider-Man. I still have them. And since then they've reprinted the Spider-Man titles in hardcover and softcover books. I love that. I love that little syndicated series.
Okay,
John
I got
Romita
another
art.
little trivia for you.
Started 1977.
Yeah. No. This is a trivia question. Okay. What PBS TV show did Spider-Man show up in? The character of Spider-Man.
The Electric Company.
Without marks. There you go. Morgan Freeman.
Yes, Morgan Freeman. Yes. God himself.
Yeah. Exactly.
Bruce Almighty. Yep.
Oh, he is God to me. Okay. Morgan Freeman is God. I want to meet him, okay? When I'm ready to go, leave this planet, whatever, I want to see a facsimile of Morgan Freeman as God. That would be perfect.
Joe knew it too. There was a delay. Joe probably answered before I did, if there weren't a delay.
Good call, Joe. Yeah, the electric company. Right.
And he mentioned in his town, the New York Daily News had the Spider-Man comic book strip.
Yeah, we had it here. Not here, but we had it when I was living. The other place I was living in was Arizona, and I was there for a number of years, over 40 plus years there. And the Arizona Republic had Spider-Man comics in there. I mean, the Spider-Man comics.
The newspaper strip syndicated. Brainbender's Banner asked, does anyone remember Flash Forward Disney show?
No, I don't remember that.
I don't remember that. She's a little bit younger than us.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Brainbender's Banner.
Have you seen? You need to subscribe to her channel if you haven't already. We do a Saturday night panel sometimes, and she has brain teasing puzzles, and she has I think 170,000 subscribers on her channel.
Fantastic. Well, Brainbender Banter. I will look for you on YouTube.
Drop your own link, BBB. Go ahead and drop your link.
Yeah, go ahead and drop your link, hon. Yeah, you're allowed to. I do tell that of everybody on our Mikey Seuss 4 channel, especially when I do my review shows on Mondays and Tuesday afternoons. I have almost everybody in my group has a blue I call it blue wrenchy, like blue meanies.
Yeah.
You know where that came from.
Yeah, Yellow Submarine. The Yellow Submarine Beatles movie. Animated.
Yeah. Oh, and the song, remember, the song Hey Bulldog was only in the remastered. They never played it in the original of the movie.
Oh, wow.
They played it in remastered. I have the remastered Yellow Submarine with Hey Bulldog included in it.
That's cool. Final thing about Jacko, Mark Jackson's his real name. His birthday coming up on August 30th. He'll be 66 years young. So happy early birthday.
Is it 66 or 65?
He's going to be 66. He's 65 now.
He is 65.
On August 30th, he will turn 66.
Wow. That must be a great day for him.
I'm glad he's still with us. He was a character. I love the energy. Hey, I love the energy, and I'm really in awe that you worked with Jane Badler as well as Mark Jackson, because those are
I love Jacko. He's great. Like I said, he's a party dude. This guy can party.
It seems like
are known to be great partiers. He was.
Yeah. Okay. Let's have some more to throw out at you about short-lived shows and to the chat. Let's talk about a primetime cartoon. How long do you think Top Cat lasted? It was on ABC TV.
Ooh,
Remember Top Cat? That was it was the second show after the Flintstones in terms of Hanna-Barbera.
Right, he had that hat that he wore. The
No, it was before. You know what? I let me correct myself. Top Cat was first before the Flintstones.
Oh yeah, Top Cat was Hanna-Barbera, came out
in 1961
before the Flintstones. Did that last less than 2 seasons?
It did. It lasted only 1 season. Good job. Good job. Good job.
Thank you.
No, you know what? Okay. I am wrong. The Flintstones, let me correct it before someone writes me
well, hey, I was wrong about Landau and Bain, so you're forgiven, okay?
The Flintstones debuted on September 30th, 1960. So I was right the first time. So Top Cat was the first additional primetime show from Hanna-Barbera. So Flintstones, and it lasted 6 seasons, the original Flintstones, starting on that September 30th, 1960. So about Top Cat, it only lasted 1 season, only 30 episodes, but I remember it ran in syndication on WATL Atlanta all the time, like every day. So you would think they would air it once a week because you're going to recycle every month, right? You're going to run out of episodes.
Well, and don't forget that on the you guys might remember this channel called Boomerang. On Boomerang, they do Hanna-Barbera repeats of Top Cat, Flintstones, Catch That Pigeon, the Penelope, thing, and all of them. And I mean,
that's cool. Boomerang.
Even Droopy, even what was his name? Droopy McCool, or that dog, or
Droopy the dog.
Droopy the dog. Yeah.
Hello, all you happy people.
Hello, all you happy people.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, all you happy people. I can't do it. Anyway, I used to be able to do it.
Happy people. Yeah,
but there was
exactly.
30 episodes of Top Cat airing Wednesday nights at 8:30, half-hour show from September 27th, 1961 until April 18th, 1962. The last time it ran on ABC in prime time, it was a rerun, was on September 26th, 1962 in color.
Cool.
And the shows that were on opposite Top Cat were the hour-long show Checkmate on CBS, starring the Virginian Doug McClure, Sebastian Cabot before Family Affair, and Tony Randall. And that show Checkmate ran for 2 seasons. And it was also opposite the Joey Bishop show on NBC. So there you go.
Cool.
How long do you think the Jetsons lasted?
The Jetsons lasted. Well, no, it lasted.
The original prime time.
Jetsons. Yeah, yes. The original Jetsons lasted, I think, at least 3 seasons.
Lasted only 1 season, only 24 episodes.
Really?
Can you believe it?
Wow.
Did that blow your mind? I know.
Yeah.
Me TV was airing them once a week, which is the way to go because you can recycle, 24 weeks.
Well,
that's half a year. Every 6 months.
Cool.
Recycle.
Yeah.
So
Joe Gutfeld was mentioning about Spider-Man. He says, I do have a couple of Spider-Man comics that has the Electric Company logo on the cover. And one of them I have was used on the show. Correct. That is great, Joe. Yeah.
That's the easy reader version. That was the kids
easy reader
version.
Yeah.
Spidey Super Stories.
Spidey Super Stories in the easy reader, played by Morgan Freeman.
That's right. Easy reader.
I am God.
Tracy says Top Cat was so funny. Yep. Have some on film. Nope. Says Sarah in Southern California. My Flock is everywhere. I used to watch Boomerang, says Tracy, to your point about the Boomerang cable network. And before that, it was Cartoon Network, right?
Well, no. Boomerang came after. Yeah, Cartoon Network came out first. Then it was Boomerang. Boomerang came in, and then
And now you have MeTV Tunes. Do you have MeTV up there in Canada? MeTV Tunes.
No, we don't.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't. We don't have it up here. But do you remember Toonami? Toonami was all that anime and everything they did on a cable TV or cable show. And then Space Ghost. Coast
God, yeah, I love Space Ghost. Absolutely. But real quick about the Jetsons, there were 24 all-new original episodes on ABC starting on September 23rd, 1962 until March 3rd, 1963. It aired Sunday nights at 7:30 opposite Dennis the Menace on CBS, which was a hit show, and the hour-long Walt Disney's Wonderful World of Color on NBC.
Right, the Wonderful World of Color, where they showed all the animals and the bears and all of that.
And the next,
of course, Tinkerbell. You can never forget whenever you were seeing the computer who wore tennis shoes, or the flubber, or all of that stuff. You were watching, bing, and then the Tinkerbell and all of the shows. And
I love that. Yes, I love the Wonderful World of Disney. And then the next season, though, on ABC, the 63 to 64 season, it had what they branded the new ABC campaign, which ushered in the Patty Duke Show, The Fugitive, and a show that lasted a season and a half that I love, The Outer Limits.
Yes, I love The Outer Limits.
Let's talk about that. Outer Limits. Go. What do you have to say about
Well, there
Outer
was
Limits?
2 shows. Okay. Well, now a lot of these shows you mentioned, Chance, were before I was born, because I was born in September of 1965. My birthday is on the 22nd. Now that's coming up. I'm turning 60. The big
Happy birthday! Happy 60 early. What day is your birthday?
September 22nd, 1965.
That's 2 days after my dad's birthday, so I will remember that. That's great.
Cool.
I'm a 70s kid, but that's cool, brother. All right, go ahead, big brother.
I'm a 70s kid too. I'm a 70s kid too, brother. But growing up, Outer Limits, Twilight Zone, and Dark Shadows. Dark Shadows was that, vampiric, soap opera. My mom would put me in front of the TV and I'd be watching that as a 3 or 4-year-old. Jonathan Frid, when he finally arrived as, Barnabas Collins. Yeah, that was fantastic.
There's her link. There's for the replay. I'll leave the chat replay live if you want to subscribe to our channel, Mikey. That's Brainbender.
Oh yeah, sure. Thank you.
Joe Guffield said he has Me TV Tunes. He also said they've been airing Scooby-Doo movies the last couple of weeks on Me TV Tunes. Today they aired the Speed Buggy episode. Okay, cool.
Buggy.
Outer Limits was great because it was a 1 hour anthology, a lot of horror, a lot of monsters, and then they had the great music by Dominique Frontier in season 1, and then this guy Lubin was his last name, took over the music in season 2. Wasn't quite as good. Oh, of course, BBB, no problem. Thank you for the donation. My God, I mean, you and Trey, so generous.
Hey, Joe,
appreciate it.
Joe, do you remember from Speed Buggy? Zoom.
So let's see. So Outer Limits, okay, because we could do a whole show on Outer Limits and Twilight Zone. So
oh my God, sure
past that. But let's see.
And then one of the other shows I grew up with, which I'm sure you did on cable, one of the first shows on HBO was The Crypt Keeper. Yes. Tales from the Crypt. Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah. And I like Tales from the Dark. Good impression. I like Tales from the Dark Side too.
Tales from the Dark Side. Yes, that one too. Yep. Yes. Oh, and Night Gallery. We forgot Night Gallery.
No, that's 3 seasons though. I didn't forget.
I know, but still, if you mention
and the
Rod
topic,
Serling,
I've got the car TV.
Night Gallery. Yes.
Yes, you do. But the Jetsons, by the way, the last time it aired, this was a rerun in prime time on ABC, was September 8th, 1963. But it was brought back in 1985 in syndication.
Oh,
got another one for you. That lasted only 1 season, 30 episodes. The Time Tunnel. Irwin Allen's
The Time
wonderful.
Tunnel, of course. Yeah, the same guy who also did Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea.
Irwin Allen, right, and Lost in Space, and then after this, Land of the Giants, which lasted 2 seasons.
Land of the Giants, yeah. And by the way, do you remember on Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, the guy David Hedison? We lost him a few years ago. Rest in peace. But David Hedison was my favorite character on that, and then he ends up playing Felix Leiter on 2 Bond films. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, David Hedison.
Yeah. He was. He played Felix in Live and Let Die.
Live and Let Die. Yes,
and then he played Felix again in License to Kill.
He did
with Timothy Dalton.
And who played him in Dr. No? Different actor played the character. Who
right.
Do you know the name of the actor who played him in Dr. No, the very first James Bond movie, 1962?
Oh shoot. Oh yeah, Lord.
Jack Lord. Very good. Jack Lord. Before Hawaii 5-0.
Oh, who was the last person to play Felix Leiter?
Felix?
In No Time to Die.
Yes, just tell me because it's not coming to my brain.
Jeffrey Wright.
Very good. Thank you.
So,
and
yes.
Jack Lord. Yes.
And the one that played him in it was a weird name. But the guy that played him in I think it was in Thunderball, his name was Rudder or something like that. It was a really weird name that played like Putter or something like that. That was his last name. The actor that played. Yeah, Jack Ward was great.
Oh, for real. Absolutely. So let me get back to my notes. I gotta pull up my notes. All right. So Time Tunnel real quick.
Yep,
it aired for 30 episodes on ABC TV. It aired Friday night from 8 to 9. In summer reruns from July until September 67, the time slot changed to 7:30 to 8:30.
Yeah.
From September 9th, 1966 to September 6th, 1967. It aired opposite, get this, the Wild Wild West second half of Wild Wild West. So people had already tuned into Wild Wild West on CBS, which was a hit show, lasted 4 years. And then it was also opposite Hogan's Heroes on CBS. So it had a tough time slot, Time Tunnel did. Opposite the second half of Wild Wild West and then Hogan's Heroes, both hit shows. And it was opposite Tarzan, the second half of Tarzan on NBC, and the first half of The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Meant to ask you this trivia question. You mentioned UFO and Shadow. What did Shadow stand for? I'll just tell you. Going by memory, I'm not looking in the script. The Supreme Headquarters Alien Defense Command. Shadow. That was the secret organization.
No, it was the Alien Defense Organization.
What did I say? Command? Yes.
You said command. Yeah, it was.
You're right. It was Supreme Headquarters Alien Defense Organization, and they spelled defense the British way with like a C and not an S. Defense.
Right. Yes.
Thank you for catching that. You know why? Because I was going to talk about The Man from U.N.C.L.E. What did U.N.C.L.E. stand for? And that stood for United Network Command. That's why I had command on the brain for Law and Enforcement.
Law and Enforcement. Yeah.
On NBC. So
speaking of The Man from U.N.C.L.E., I rewatched again. I love this TV movie they brought out with. They brought back Robert Vaughn. They brought back David McCallum, who played Ilya Kuryakin. They brought in Patrick McNee, okay, and they brought in George Lazenby to play JB, and that was called The 15-Year Affair, The Man from U.N.C.L.E. That I just watched that. I rewatched that TV movie for a third time. It is one of my all-time favorites. I love it.
Sarah says The Man from U.N.C.L.E. was fantastic. I didn't know that about you, that you are familiar with The Man from U.N.C.L.E. It was NBC's answer to James Bond, basically.
Exactly. And don't forget, Robert Vaughn later played General Stockwell in A-Team for season 5.
That's right. You know who was problematic?
And I mean, it was just so good. But the thing is, and I have a theory. I'm just going to say this real quick about A-Team because I'm getting close to getting into season 5 reviews right now. The Trial. By the way, those 3 episodes that have 3 different titles, but it's technically called The Trial of them. And then when they go, through the trial, then they go to the firing squad, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to go into whatever happens after that because if you people have not seen it, it is fantastic. But my one theory, Yvonne Craig, yes, she was great.
Oh, yeah, Yvonne Craig was in The Man from U.N.C.L.E. as well.
And Batman, right. Yeah. Oh, and Yvonne Craig, my wife's original matron name is Craig. She is related not only to Yvonne Craig, distantly related, but she is blood related to Daniel Craig, who just finished playing James Bond on her father's side of the family. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, she's amazing. My Mrs. Bond. She's my Tracy Bond right over here.
That's really cool.
And if you can remember Diana Rigg played that, then you are a Bond fan. You are an aficionado.
The only woman Bond married. Tragic fate, though. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but she was killed by Elsa's stepdad. Okay, as Bunt, or Brunt or whatever her name was. So I mean, it wasn't Blofeld that shot her. At the end of that.
They ripped that off in Beverly Hills 90210 when Luke Perry's character, Dylan McKay, was going to marry this girl, Antonio, who was a daughter of a mobster. And they got married, and then she shot down in her car, just like on Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Like on Her Majesty's
you know what I'm talking about? Are you familiar with that? Beverly Hills 90210?
I am familiar with that episode, yes. Yeah. Well, we lost Perry, didn't we, recently?
Yeah, we did. A couple years ago. He's in heaven with Shannon Doherty. They're reunited in heaven.
Shannon. Yeah. Oh, and we were speaking about Hogan's Heroes before. And I just, the guy who played LeBeau in Hogan's Heroes, he also passed. So everybody in that show is gone. Everyone. even the Helga.
I know.
And all.
That's very true. Yes, he was the black actor. I talked about it. Right. He passed away. He was also in Star Trek, That Which Survives with Lee Merriweather, season 3.
Yes, that's right. Kinchlow, who played Kinchlow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. I am for you. Remember the hologram of Lee Merriweather? Have you seen her on the social media, that selfie she took back then in 1968? It was like one of the first selfies. Lee Merriweather's using like a Polaroid camera, taking a picture of herself in her dressing room in that outfit and makeup. Anyway.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Rebecca Gayheart. That's right. Rebecca, sorry.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, I took my wife, Suzanne, to go see where the place where Bob Crane did his last show. It used to be called the Windmill Dinner Theater in Scottsdale, but now it's an auction house. But before it was an auction house, it was a bar, and it was called Club Rio or something like that. Anyway, the story is that Suzanne and I are very attuned, and she is more so into the paranormal. And so I brought her by the auction house first, and she saw Bob Crane, his spirit, right outside smoking a cigarette. He's right there. Like, you know, his presence has always been around this building, which is in Scottsdale. And it's crazy. And then the last place I took her was over to the Orange Tree Apartments. And that is on the site where he was killed, where Bob Crane was murdered. It was right. We saw the apartment. I showed her the apartment right there in the corner. Boom, right there. Yeah.
How horrible. I've had the official biographer of Bob Crane, biographers, on my show, The Nostalgic Podblast. There's their book. Carol M. Ford with Dee Young and Linda J. Groundwater. She's in Australia, Linda Groundwater, but it's a great read. It sets the record straight. I mean, beyond the lurid stuff that was sensationalized in movies like Autofocus.
But Autofocus is a great film. We own it. Willem Dafoe, who played Carpenter, and it was who was the Bob?
Greg Kinnear. Greg Kinnear.
Greg Kinnear. Thank you. So basically, right. So basically, young Bob Crane Jr., his son, was the one who put together. He was the technical consultant for the film, so I knew automatically it was going to be legit. I knew it was going to be, true, and that things were going on, because his son was the one that, was consulting it. And then afterwards, if you watch the actual story, the documentary about how he was taken out, and how to this day no one can still tell who it was that took him. Carpenter was exonerated, remember, in the early 90s, and then he just decided it was too much for him, and he decided to off himself. And, John Carpenter. But the thing is, to this day, they know that John Carpenter could have drove the vehicle, but whoever it was that took out Bob Crane is still unknown. They still don't know who it is.
That's right. It's a big mystery, unsolved mystery.
Unsolved mystery. Yeah.
Could have been a jealous husband, because he... anyway. Joe Gutfeld did mention that Rebecca Gayheart played the part of Dylan's ill-fated wife in Beverly Hills 90210.
And 90210. Thank you. Yeah, very cool. Yeah.
Yep. And to your point, Sarah says in Southern California, wow, Mikey.
And somebody said I was very knowledgeable, that I had a plethora of knowledge. So
you definitely, that was Brady Bender's banner that said that, BBB. Let's see.
Very cool, BBB. Yeah, thank you.
I didn't finish real quick about Time Tunnel. I mentioned it was against the first half of The Man from U.N.C.L.E. on NBC. Oh, the pilot episode of the Time Tunnel, they were on the Titanic. It was kind of cool. And Irwin Allen directed the pilot of Time Tunnel. And it had a love story. It wasn't like Rose and Jack. Huh?
Yeah, that is one episode I do remember, because they were trying to stop the captain from going into the shipping into the lanes where it had the icebergs and all that stuff. And they were trying to stop him, and he said, no, this is faster. And then, of course,
who played the captain? It was Michael Rennie from The Day the Earth Stood Still. He played the captain of the Titanic.
Oh, yeah, Michael Rennie, that's right.
And James Darren, who recently died, he was unfortunately, the first main cast member of the Time Tunnel to pass away last year. He played
That's
Tony
correct.
Newman, and then Robert Colbert as Doug Phillips, and Lee Merriweather as Anne McGregor. So there you go. And John Williams did the theme song, as he did for Lost in Space seasons 1 and 2. But someone else did Voyage. He didn't do Voyage to the Bottom of the Seas theme. John Williams did not. That was
he didn't do
Sawtelle.
that. That was somebody else. Yeah.
Now, aside,
and I was going to say, some of them in the chat have said they've seen every A-Team. I have too.
That's Sarah.
I loved it even despite. Okay, I'm just saying, even despite season 5, which didn't turn out well, and that was the demise. My theory was on that, and it was Eddie, the guy who played Eddie Velez, that played Eddie in the thing, was not good, and I think that he brought down, because it was all about the 4 of them, right? But when Eddie decided to join the team, that brought down the entire dynamic. And I hate to say it, I don't like to blame all of everything of why A-Team failed on one person, but he was a huge factor. It was, it bothered me. And I mean, it will. When I talk about it, when I get to the reviews of season 5, all the way up to Without Reservations, which is the last episode, by the way, and then they just cut it off. I was like, what? You never thought again after that.
Can I correct something Joe Gutfeld said? Baywatch was another short-lived show. It lasted 11 seasons, sir. 11 seasons. Did you know
Baywatch
that? I think he was kidding. I think he was joking. Baywatch was definitely not short-lived.
Okay, Baywatch.
I think he was joking.
Yes.
Oh man, you said something I meant to mention earlier, and I freaking forgot. Brainbender's Banner said, if I remember correctly, didn't they have a short TV series spinoff from A League of Their Own? Yes, the women's baseball team movie. Yeah, they did that a lot. They had a 9 to 5 TV show based on the movie 9 to 5, and yeah, that would happen. That would happen for sure.
Didn't, by the way, feature the original ladies. So.
Ooh, and I thought of another good one, a short-lived knockoff or adaptation for TV of a movie, The Bad News Bears TV show, and Catherine Hicks was in that. Catherine Hicks was in that long before Star Trek 4.
That's true.
I forgot. That's like one of her first starring roles was in the Bad News Bears TV show. I think it lasted maybe 2 seasons. If I'm gonna look that up, that wasn't even on the list.
We miss Walter Matthau, who was in the original Bad News Bears.
Oh yeah, Tatum O'Neal was in it, of course.
Tatum O'Neal.
Ryan O'Neal's gone. Her dad. I loved her in Paper Moon.
I loved her in Paper Moon. It's only a paper moon, and it's only a cardboard square. I don't remember all of it, but yeah, good movie. Excellent movie.
Let me see. Okay, Bad News Bears episode guide. Let me just see. It lasted 2 seasons, so it's right in this wheelhouse with 3 unaired episodes that were shot that never aired. It last aired July 26, 1980, debuted March 24th, 1979. Catherine Hicks was Dr. Emily Rappant. Jack Warden was in the TV show.
Jack Warden was the coach, yes.
Yep.
That's true.
Wow.
Yep. Wow.
Bring that is an unlocked memory.
But they did bring back, they brought back one person, I believe. If I'm wrong, let me know.
No,
but they
you're
brought
right.
back one person, Kelly, the guy who played Kelly.
Yeah, you're right. I got another one, the short-lived show, Gidget, starring Sally Field and Don Porter.
Oh my God, Gidget! I was too young for Gidget. Sorry.
I know, but this stuff was in rerun syndication. That's right.
Well,
I discovered.
Well, that's like, okay. Here's the weird thing: Star Trek came out when I was 1 or 2 years old.
Right.
Okay. And then I started watching it when we moved to Arizona in 1971, because I had only lived in the Bay Area for less than 5 years. And when we moved to Arizona, that's when we started watching it on local TV. Was reruns. That's when they called it syndication and reruns. And so we were able to start watching Star Trek episodes that came out. So yeah, that was cool. Yeah.
I'm going to look up A League of Their Own TV show to BBB's point. Brainbender's Banter YouTube channel. A League.
Also, the very first James Bond film I went to when I was old enough to go see films with my parents was Goldfinger. That was the very first one I saw a few years after it came out. Now, it came out in 1964, but I didn't get to see it until I was like 6 or 7. So, and I think it was on ABC TV as their Sunday night movie. And so I think that's probably the first time I saw it, but I did see it in a movie theater before that. So when I was like 6 years old, I think 5 or 6.
Oh my God. BBB, good one. It lasted 5 episodes, with the 6th episode being unaired back on April 10th, 1993. The last time it aired was August 13th, 1993. A League of Their Own. And let me look who's in the cast. No one we know, really. Okay, wow. Good call there. And they brought it back in 2010 with Dudes. A League of Their Own 2010. And there's a League of Their Own 2022. But I know the one you're talking about. It was on Prime, and it's already canceled. A League of Their Own 2022. So that lasted eight episodes in that streaming service, Prime. Okay, good one, BBB. Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Real quick, Gidget debuted September 15th, 1965, just before you were born. You were in your mama's belly still. And it aired, you were born September 22nd, 65.
65, yes. Well, you know what's funny too is that as I'm reviewing Get Smart came out around the time I was born, and then it was like, I was only a few months old, and here's all these Get Smart episodes. 5 seasons. That one doesn't count because that lasted 5 seasons. But yeah, it's still a great show. Well, okay. Remember the new Get Smart? They came back in the early 90s on Fox. It lasted 6 episodes, and it featured Andy Dick as Don Adams and Barbara Filden's kid.
That guy cracks me up. He's bizarre.
Junior. Yeah.
Andy Dick is funny. He's crazy, but he is fun, off the wall. He's got issues in a good way, I think.
Yeah, but I'm going to review that. Oh, you know what? Now that reminds me, let me the new Get Smart. I gotta. This has been bothering me for the last couple weeks or so. I was trying to figure out the name of the actress that was in the new Get Smart with Andy on that thing.
While you're doing that, Christine Elise was in the League of Their Own, and she was in season 2 of 90210. Yeah, she was Brandon's girlfriend, turned out to be a psycho ex-girlfriend. Yeah, she was kind of punk. And she was also in Body Snatchers, 1993 movie based on the 50s Invasion of the Body Snatchers and the 1978 Invasion of the Body Snatchers movie. It's called Body Snatchers, starring Gabby Anwar, who also was in Beverly Hills 90210 in that season 2. Gabrielle Anwar. Yeah. She played the ice skater that Brandon was dating. Anyway.
Oh, yeah, cool. Okay, so yeah, it was still called Get Smart. It came out in 1995, lasted for 7 episodes. So that is definitely a small, 7 episodes. And it had Andy Dick. Oh, yeah, and there's her name, Elaine Hendricks, who played Agent 66. She was in all 7 episodes. Let's see if she's still alive.
And yes, Agent 99, Barbara Felden's still alive. Good, she's still alive. But no one can beat Agent 99, even in her 80s.
Yeah. So Elaine Hendricks is an actress, producer, director. She was born December 28th in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. They won't say how old she is, though.
I like that accent.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Did you know she? Oh, thank you very much. Did you know? Yeah, she was in Romy and Michelle's high school reunion movie from '97. She played Lisa. I remember that. She was in a TV series called Sex and Drugs and Rock and Roll for 20 episodes from 2015. We're really going up there to 2016. She did Dynasty for 57 episodes as Alexis Carrington, the later of the series, 2019 to 2022. And she was in The Parent Trap. She played Meredith Blake in that in 1998, the reboot of The Parent Trap. So that's Elaine Hendricks. Wow.
Very
now
cool.
I know her name. Okay.
Good intel there. Real quick about Gidget, just to wrap up on Gidget. I told you debuted September 15th, 65, Wednesday nights, right after a 3rd season episode of The Patty Duke Show from 8:30 to 9 through January 1966. And then Gidget moved to Thursday nights from 8 to 8:30 from January 66 until September 1st, 66 for 33 total all new episodes. Opposite, get this, the Beverly Hillbillies on CBS, their #1 show for years, and the second half of The Virginian on NBC, a 90-minute full-color Western. The last new episode of Gidget aired April 21st, 1966 on ABC with reruns through September 1st, 66. And I love the theme song tune. That's all I had to say about that.
I love that too. And am I correct? Patty Duke is the mother of Sean Astin, who is
That's right.
both, the Lord of the Rings. And John Astin, who is still alive. Astin lives.
There he is. Yep, and there he
Yeah.
is.
John
But his
Astin
dad,
lives.
his dad is not. Sean Astin's dad was Michael
Yeah.
Tell.
Michael Tell.
Biologically. Yeah, it was proven.
Biologically.
He had some tests done, some
Right.
paternity tests, DNA tests, and Michael Tell was someone that Patty was subletting her apartment to, and he knocked her up. And that's Sean Astin's dad. Look, there they are together in ABC After School Special, Please Don't Hit Me, Mom, from 1981 with Nancy McKeon, Lance Guest, the last starfighter himself, and Patty Duke Astin, an award-winning family drama.
Yeah, John Astin is the only one left from the original Addams Family.
Something because that's the next one on my list, the Addams Family. Something scary is
the
happening.
Addams Family, right? And he was born March 30th, 1930. So he just celebrated his 95th birthday. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Now,
I know that you're a radio DJ, right? You also work on radio.
I was, but yeah, I'm on Fistful of Radio, which streams out of Atlanta and here.
Okay.
I'm not on terrestrial though, to be clear. But go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, back in Arizona, I knew this guy named Paul. He calls himself Neanderthal. He worked on an FM station called KSLX on 100.7 FM. That's what it was. And Neanderthal has this thing. He started a few years ago. And I said, yeah, John Astin is still alive. He's the only one. And he says, John Astin lives. So every time somebody passes away, my buddy Neanderthal says, hashtag John Astin lives. Because he's still alive, 95 years old. I mean, wow.
Brainbender's Banner mentions Manimal. That was a creepy show. The effects were really creepy.
Oh,
where he
Manimal was
into a cougar. It reminded me of cat people. Maybe that freaked me out.
And a cheetah, all that stuff.
Yeah, that didn't last long, and that was a good show by Glenn Larson, up there with Automan in terms of longevity.
I liked Automan. Oh, you know which other one you forgot from the 80s? Max Headroom.
Oh, that's a good one. That's on my list. I got to hurry along. I think I'm saying too many facts about each show, and it's slowing it down. We already got to fact. I mean, eventually one of us is going to
all the time you want, Chance. I'm loving this. I am honored and blessed to be with you here. I really am. This brings lots of great memories.
Yeah, and to your point about A-Team, I meant to mention this earlier. George Papard was very problematic, as you know. He butted heads with the NBC network executives, even on a game show, Password Plus, 3 years before A-Team, even 2 years before it even went on the air. He went on a rant, and the episode didn't even air because he was bitching about the NBC executives and how much paranoia, in his words, there is about oversight of game shows. And that goes back to the $64,000 question, which Patty Duke exposed. She was a contestant on the $64,000 question, and she exposed that they were giving the contestants the answers in advance.
Right. So the other thing I was going to mention about George was around season 4, it goes back to season 3. George Papard was jealous of one person. That was Mr. T as B.A. Baracus, which, by the way, stood for what?
Really?
What did B.A. stand for?
Badass.
No, bad attitude.
Oh, that's right. They had to clean it up for TV.
They had to. Yeah, bad attitude Baracus. Anyway, so the story goes that right after they got rid of the ladies, okay, so that means Tanya Heasley, who was in the second season, Amy Allen, who was in the first season, played by the wonderful Melinda Kulea. I really missed her. I thought she was great. And then Marla Heasley, who played the Tanya in the second season. So after those ladies were gone, George Papard figured, okay, I just got rid of the women because they were detrimental to the show. But then he realized Mr. T was getting more play. He was getting more speaking parts. He was doing more stuff, and Papard was pissed. And I mean, this lasted all the way from like mid-season of 3 all the way to almost the very end of 4. And I will talk about that when we get into the further episodes here. I will talk about that animosity that he had with him. And it really drove Benedict, playing Faceman, Peck, Templeton Peck, and How I Met Murdoch by the great Dwight Schultz, who was Barclay in both Voyager and Star Trek Next Generation, Lieutenant Barclay. But anyway, getting off the subject here, sorry. So anyway, so Dwight Schultz and were always the soundboards, right? Schultz and Benedict were the soundboards between arguments that Mr. T and George Papard would get into. And it wasn't always, and the producers were not happy because they knew that they were always at each other's throat, right? When the cameras were not on them, they were upset. Now, they were professionals when they were filming, but when they were offset, everything went nuts. So I mean, and it didn't help any. It didn't help any.
Real quick, I got to acknowledge something that BBB said in chat.
Yeah, sure.
She was talking about Manimal, and some quick facts. It only lasted 8 episodes, 8 weeks, and it was on from September 30th, 83 to December 31st, 83. It never made it out in 1983. Friday nights at 9. And then December 83, they moved it to Saturday night at 9. Terrible time slots. But you know why it didn't make it Friday night? It was opposite Dallas on CBS and Lottery on ABC.
Oh,
So
my.
That's 8 weeks.
Right. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so
and you're right.
Grid. That's how I know that. This is my TV Bible. Go ahead.
Oh, there you go. And Brainbend or BBB is right. The Playboy Club only lasted 3 episodes.
Right. And Tracy, who was here, Tracy's Fractured History and More, who also made a generous donation earlier, her dad worked for Playboy.
Oh, he did? Wow.
Yep.
Now,
in the Chicagoland area.
Yeah. Now, the 3 episodes were filmed. Help me out here, BBB. They were filmed in L.A., right? I think they were in L.A. The Playboy Club, they're in L.A. So, 3 episodes there. Phoenix, Arizona did have a Playboy Club near downtown. It was near this old mall that's there. It was called Park Central Mall, right near downtown. It was on the top floor of a building. The building is no longer there, but at the time that it was still there, and they had closed down the club, I got to go to the top floor and see it, but it was all blocked off.
Wow. Did you read this?
Cool.
Spider-Man from Joe Gutfeld, going back to the Spider-Man TV show, the actress who played the secretary is the real-life mother of Kim Fields from The Facts of Life, who played Tootie.
That's true.
I never knew that. See, I learned something too.
Tootie.
Yeah. Tootie.
Which was a good show too. I'm glad that lasted longer, was Facts of Life.
9 seasons, and then after they had the purge after season 1 where they got rid of so many girls, including Molly Ringwald.
Oh, yeah.
Great show, says Southern California Sarah. My Flock is Everywhere. And then Brainbender's Bander says Osborne's Reloaded. Rest in peace, Ozzy. I think it only 1 episode aired.
I think she's right. Yeah, 1 episode. Because the Osbournes, before that, did last a number of seasons, but on cable. But
you were talking about John Aston. That really number 8 on my list was The Addams Family, that began airing on ABC Friday nights from 8:30 to 9 on September 18th, 1964, ahead of The Munsters on CBS. It lasted only 2 seasons. The last new episode aired on April 8th, 1966. And the last primetime rerun aired on September 2nd, 1966 of The Addams Family on ABC. So that's just 2 seasons. 2 seasons.
Wow. And how long did Munsters last? Probably around the
2
same
seasons.
Time.
2
Just
seasons,
2
yes.
seasons.
And the weird thing is, when The Munsters was canceled, in just mere days, the Munster movie, Munster Go Home, in full color, was released in movie theaters. Munster Go Home.
I remember that. I do recall that. Yes.
And Richard Dawson was in that movie, and Robert Pine. Is it Philip Pine or Robert Pine? I always get confused. Robert Pine, the Sarge from Chips, the father of Chris Pine. He was in that movie, Munster Go Home.
Yeah, Robert Pine. You're right.
Robert Pine.
Yeah. And Chris,
there's a character actor, Philip Pine, who's in Star Trek and Fugitive. Yeah.
I actually like Chris Pine as Kirk in the reboots. I may not like George R. Abrams.
Yeah, I know that with the canon that got wrecked. But The Munsters, it was my number 9, hit the scene on CBS September 24th, 64, after Addams Family debuted September 18th of that year, just 6 days after the premiere of Addams Family. The last new episode of Munsters aired on May 12th, 66, and it aired Thursdays from 7:30 to 8, opposite the Flintstones on ABC. Right. And the first season of Daniel Boone on NBC.
Ooh, Daniel Boone. Yeah, I like that.
And then it was opposite Shindig on ABC during season 2 of The Munsters. That was a hit show.
Yeah, I never watched Shindig, but I did watch Daniel Boone.
I did too. And then Daniel Boone was a man. Yes, a real
Was a brave man. Yeah.
Big man. No, you're right. It was a big man. Daniel Boone was a man. Yes, a big man.
Big man.
Last primetime episode of The Munsters, which is a rerun, aired on September 1st, 1966. And then the color movie, Munster Go Home, was released on June 15th, 66 in theaters. Just about a month, just over a month after the cancellation of the half-hour show. And remember the syndicated Munsters from the 80s where you had Lee Merriweather as Lily? And that was a short-lived one.
That was a short-lived one, too. Let me ask you, Chance, what did you think about, we own 2 of the Addams Family movies, with Raul Julia as Gomez, and of course the beautiful Angelica Houston as Morticia. But of those, and Christopher Lloyd, who is Fenster,
Uncle Fester.
Uncle Fester, yeah. So we own the first 2, Addams Family and Addams Family Values, great, but the third one was terrible.
I didn't know there was a third
one.
I
saw it once, and I never wanted to see it again, so I never bought it. So I had the 2 DVDs for the first 2 films.
And I love the pinball machine too. Addams Family, based on the first movie. But
correct.
I loved Addams Family Values. I saw that in theater twice. I cracked up. That was a funny movie. With Joan Cusack playing the swindler of Uncle Fester, trying to get his loot.
Second one, yes.
Second one. Yeah. All right.
Joan Cusack is E. That one.
Yeah, I like those movies a lot. I didn't know there was a third one. It obviously was after Raul Julia had died, correct?
Correct.
Was Christina Ricci in it as Wednesday?
The first 2, I believe Christina Ricci did return. Reprised her role as Wednesday Addams, came back. But it was terrible. If you don't mind, while you say something else here, I'll look it up because
okay.
I don't even remember what the third one was called.
I'll go to number 10. Oh my God, I don't think I'll make it. We might have to do a 2-parter. I have 40 shows. I'm only on number 10 because we have so many good stories. All right, here's number 10. The Girl from U.N.C.L.E., a spinoff of The Man from U.N.C.L.E., lasted 1 year. Starred Stephanie Powers years before Heart to Heart. And here she was portraying Agent April Dancer. The Girl from U.N.C.L.E. aired Tuesday nights from 7:30 to 8:30 from September 13th, 1966 until August 29th, 1967, with the last all-new episode airing on April 11th, 1967.
Yeah. So in 1998, the Addams Family reunion featured Daryl Hannah and Tim Curry. Now, I'm a huge Tim Curry fan, but that is the third official one, and I saw it once, and I think that was it, and it was terrible. It was terrible. And then in 2019, I didn't know this, but they said they did a reboot of the Addams Family, and it was Oscar Isaac and Charlize Theron who did that. And that was stupid. So
yes.
You can't you can't ruin a good thing, okay? Raul Julia was great as Gomez. I think he was. Even John Astin himself said, if I had somebody cast as me, I'd want it to be Raul, because Raul he played the role perfectly, and I think he did.
And it was shot. I love the cinematography of those films too.
Yes,
really spooky. Girl from U.N.C.L.E. was opposite the 5th and final season of Combat on ABC and the first year of Doctari on CBS. And Doctari ran for 4 total seasons. So there you go.
Doctari, yeah.
I'll be real impressed if you know this show. Or did you want to say something first?
Oh, well, I was going to say, Joe mentioned I'm more of a Davy Crockett fan. Davy Crockett, king of the wild frontier. Yeah.
Ooh, another good one. Swamp Thing from Brainbender's Banter, based on the movie, which was shot not too far from me back in the day,
cool.
like 1981, 80 or 81.
Didn't you have, speaking of Star Trek here for a moment, you had Star Trek New Voyages, James Cawley, and you had Star Trek Continues filmed in the Atlanta, Georgia area, I believe.
I didn't know
With
that.
Vic Minota.
I take your word for it. I wasn't aware of that. That's good to know. I'm going to look up Swamp Thing really quickly.
Oh, yeah, go ahead and look up Swamp Thing. There was an animated Swamp Thing, too, which didn't last long.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and speaking of swamps, Toxic Avenger. Okay, the Trauma films. Okay, I've seen all three of them. I know they're so stupid, but they're so funny at the same time. They are bringing back Toxic Avenger August 27th in theaters. Peter Dinklage playing the title role, and Kevin
No
Bacon
way.
playing the criminal, and the sniper played by Elijah Wood.
Oh my God. Yeah, there was an animated 5-episode animated Swamp Thing. You're right, in 1991.
Correct. Yeah.
And then there was one in 2019 that was on Prime, I think. And it had
Yeah, it was on Amazon
Ian
Prime.
Ziering from Beverly Hills 90210 was in the cast of that.
Voiced him. Okay.
Now there's a 1990 Swamp Thing. That's the one she's talking about. I remember it aired on USA Network. Lasted 3 seasons. Okay. Wow.
Well, that's okay. That falls into
On the
our
cusp. It's on the
right
cusp.
around 2-3 season thing. Yeah. It was pretty good though. I like that Swamp Thing. Yes, I did.
Here's
USA
one.
Network did it. Yeah.
USA Network.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I think I'll be so impressed if you know this show. Didn't last long. It had tough comp. Remember a show called Cliffhangers? Maybe not. NBC.
I barely do. That doesn't ring a bell to me.
It only lasted 11 episodes from February 17th, 79 to May 1st, 79. And they had like 3 different rotating stories, like a Western time travel. Like there were these futuristic people underground. And there was a journalist who stumbled on a world secret, stopped Susan Williams. And then there was Dracula, 1979. Okay, enough about that. It was opposite It was opposite. Get this. It was opposite Happy Days and Laverne and Shirley, the powerhouse on ABC. That's why it didn't make it.
That was your power couples right there.
God, yeah. And it was also opposite the Paper Chase TV show on CBS. That's a short-lived one based on a movie, The Paper Chase.
Is that
John Houseman. Yeah, he starred in that too. The movie and the TV show, and Lindsay Wagner was in the movie. But yeah.
Yeah, Sir John Houseman. Yes.
That's it. How about The Ropers? Lasted a season and a half, spinoff of Three's Company.
That was sad. Yeah, they brought back both
Norman Fell and Audra Lindley.
Fell and Audra Lindley. Yeah. Well, because after the original Three's Company ended with Don Knotts, right, playing, the other landlord, that came after the Ropers left. And then the Ropers did their own show. So it was, it didn't last long.
They brought back the Ropers, though, for Night of the Ropers. Did you know there's a Three's Company where the Ropers and Mr. Furley interact?
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh.
It's from season 6 of Three's Company. I know. And they brought him back after the cancellation of the show, which is what they promised to do, but on a regular basis. But Don Knotts was so good as Mr. Furley that they had moved on.
Yeah, they just wanted to keep him. Yeah, he was great.
Yep. So, but did you know the Ropers had a great time slot right after Three's Company at first? It started March 13th, 79. It ended May 22nd, 1980. And it was a hit. It was a top 10 show at the end of the 78-79 season and number 8 in the top 10. It started Tuesdays from 10 to 10:30. Then ABC moved it against Chips on Saturday night in Chips' heyday 3rd season. And that was the end of the Ropers.
Okay. In the movie Working Girl, that was Melanie Griffith, who was in that, along with the alien leader who played Ripley. This is terrible. I know this, and I'm like going, bleh. But she's in my favorite. She's in me and Suzanne's favorite horror film, The Cabin in the Woods. Sigourney Weaver. That's it.
Oh,
Sigourney Weaver and Melanie Griffith were in the original movie. Also, guess who was in there? Harrison Ford.
Oh, good movie. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I like the movie a lot. Sigourney Weaver. But Sandra Bullock was in the TV show, right? Is that what Joe's saying? Tracy, I want to say goodnight to Tracy. She's got to duck out. This is her bedtime.
Good night, Tracy.
Thank you for the donation. You're a sweetheart. I got more Space Giants coming. Hey, isn't my guest Mikey great, Tracy? Don't you think? I think he's great.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Tracy.
Sandra Bullock. Okay, he's asking about the TV show Working Girl. I didn't know that.
You know what? I can look that up for you there. Give me one moment there, Joe. I'll find it for you.
Thanks. And then while you're doing that, I'll mention another short-lived show.
All right.
The Misadventures of Sheriff Lobo. It lasted 2 years. The second season, it was Lobo, spinoff of BJ and the Bear, starring Claude Akins. I'll just leave it at that in the interest of time. Another show that's memorable, didn't last long, Bosom Buddies, starring Tom Hanks. Only lasted 2 years. Started November 27th, 1980 through March 25th, 82.
Okay. So in
Donna
1990, right, he is correct. In 1990, the Working Girl TV series lasted only 12 episodes, and the star was Sandra Bullock.
Oh my gosh, I did not know that. I've got to get her autograph on something. I have a.
Yeah,
She was the Bionic girl in Bionic Showdown, a 1989 $6 Million Man Bionic Woman TV reunion movie.
Yeah, Bionic Showdown.
And I have a still, I don't know where it is, that Richard Anderson signed and Lindsay Wagner, and Bullock is in the shot, but she doesn't do social media. She doesn't do collector shows yet. It's going to be really hard unless I'm on set and I have it in my car and I'm sneaky. No, I wouldn't do that. I'd get her to sign it, which might get me in trouble. You know, if she's touchy about autographs or refuses to do autographs. I'm thinking she might, if she sees, look, you got Richard Anderson who's deceased, you got Lindsay Wagner who's not deceased, thank God. Maybe she'll sign it. I don't know, but that's someone I really want to meet.
What I found, you know who else I found that was in that 12 episode series? Nana Visitor, who plays Bryn Newhouse, the character in the series, who was Commander Kira in the 7 years of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Commander Kira, the Bajoran commander. Yeah, Commander Kira. Nana Visitor. I was like, whoa, that blew me away. Okay. Yeah, she was on Working Girl. That series. The TV
let me show
series.
you this.
Yeah, only 12 episodes in 1990. Yeah.
I want to show you this real quick while we were talking about there. Oh, damn. There's Cousin It. There's his autograph. I met him in Burbank, California in 07 without his mask.
Nice. Oh, yeah. Felix
and here's
Silla.
Yvonne Craig. We
he's
talked
so
about her earlier. Batgirl. She signed that for me. God rest her soul.
Oh, God rest her soul. You're so lucky there, Chance. You got a lot of great signatures there. You know who I have a signature of still? I have a photograph of Cheryl Ladd from Charlie's Angels, who came in on the second season after Farrah Fawcett left. She was Chris Monroe. She was, the character. She lasted all the remaining seasons, but the one who was there for the entire series run was Jacqueline Smith, who played Kelly Garrett. She was the one who was the only one that lasted, even past, Doyle, who did Bosley, and Kate, who was,
Kate Jackson. Kate Jackson. But to your point about Cheryl Ladd, she sang the national anthem at the Super Bowl. Did you know that?
Yes.
At Pittsburgh Steelers, yeah. In Pasadena, California.
And she later on did she did a couple TV movies, really good ones she did. I think the one where it's called The Bed is Burning or some other thing. Really good movie. Really
That's Farrah Fawcett, The Burning Bed, where she was
was it her or was it the other one?
It was Farrah. It was Farrah Fawcett.
It was Farrah. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
But Cheryl later did a series called Vegas, which James Caan was in it with her, and really good series.
I thought Vegas had Robert Urich.
No. Robert Urich was the original Vegas. There was another one.
The movie?
Las
my
Vegas.
bad.
That series called Las Vegas, right?
Las Vegas? That's right. And what a great singer Cheryl Ladd is. And she did Josie and the Pussycats. She sang.
Yes, she did.
She had record albums.
Who was the one with the real foot down hair and?
Yeah.
That was her.
Yeah. So, any memories of Bosom Buddy?
Like I have an autographed picture. I have an autographed photograph of her. It's buried way back here. I have a walk-in closet, but But one day I was like, I wasn't going online. This was something I saw on an episode of Charlie's Angels where it said you could write to any of the actresses. Yeah, she was great. Yeah, she was.
An early episode of Happy Days.
Good call, Joe. So I just saw this address and I said, okay, I'll write down, and I wrote down the address, and then I wrote to them and I said, hey, my favorite is Cheryl Ladd, just joined the cast. I said, I really like her. She plays great as Chris Monroe. And I said, can I get an autograph from her? They not only sent me an autograph from her, but a portrait of her and the signature and her signature.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
My audio went out. Keep going. I told you this might
happen.
Yeah,
I'm going. Yeah. So I mean, that was amazing to me. I have met a few famous people. Cheryl Ladd was great to do that, to send me a portrait with her signature on it. She was my favorite for Charlie's Angels. She will be till the end of time. But I met Rob Schneider from SNL. Unfortunately, I wasn't with Suzanne at the time. It was with one of my evil exes. I've been married twice. And there he is. There he is. Yeah. And so I met Rob Schneider after a comedy bit he did in Tempe, Arizona, and at the improv there, and he redid for me his making copies, and he used my Mikey. So he said, "Mikey Meister, the Mikester, the Mikey Man, Mikey, he likes it. Hey, Mikey," and all this stuff. And it was funny. It was funny. But meeting Rob and like I said, meeting the people I did in Highwayman, fantastic. I met G.W. Bailey on a set of another thing that my friend Larry was doing. I can't remember the name of it, but G.W. Bailey, who was in some of the Police Academy movies, great guy. I mean, freaking hilarious, wonderful man.
Wow.
GW would tell me about his best friend, who plays Proctor, and they, came from Broadway stock and comedies, and just great stories, good stuff.
Excellent. Brainbender's Banter commented, "Next Caller was a sitcom pilot starring Dane Cook that was never aired by NBC after being canceled before its premiere. I remember seeing commercials for it, but never the show because it never aired. I liked him as a comedian."
Aired. Yeah, right.
And then Joe Gutfeld said, Cheryl Ladd was in Happy Days, the same episode that also starred Linda Pearl. Linda Pearl played Matlock's daughter in season 1 of Matlock. She quit the show because the writers weren't writing enough stories to her liking.
And Linda Pearl ended up being the girlfriend of Fonzie.
Yep.
By Henry Winkler.
And in real life, she's now the girlfriend of Patrick Duffy. I don't think they actually married. Maybe they're married, but they're a couple in real life. Patrick Duffy.
But there's one man. But there's one man that killed 2 shows. And I truly believe this. And
Fred
I
Silverman?
might be wrong. I
Fred
might
Silverman?
be wrong.
Okay.
No. Ted McGinley.
Oh,
he was
yeah.
in Happy Days for the final season that they died. That the season that died. But remember, they tried Joni Loves Chachi. That didn't last.
Oh, that's on my list next. Oh, I was about to say that. It's on my list. Yep. Joni Loves Chachi.
Joni Loves Chachi, which didn't last either. But Ted McGinley was responsible not only for killing Happy Days, but when he joined the cast of Married with Children, he destroyed that too. So Ted McGinley
and he wasn't in the very last, but he was in the last 2 seasons of Love Boat too, as the photographer. Ace, I think, was his character name.
And that went off the air as soon as he joined it.
He was in Revenge of the Nerds as well.
Yes, he was.
As you know.
Which was filmed, by the way, Revenge of the Nerds, majority of it was filmed down at my rival. I went to Arizona State University. The University of Arizona Wildcats are our hated rivals since the late 1800s. It goes a long way back. And everybody to this day at ASU is still pissed that Revenge of the Nerds movie was shot all over the University of Arizona.
Interesting. They shot We Are Marshall at my alma mater, Marshall University. I studied communications.
Well, you were lucky you got that.
And in Atlanta. But they actually shot in one of my dorm buildings because I was in the dorm the first year. Then I lived in a house. I got a house the next year, but yeah. Anyway, Married with Children lasted longer with Ted than the original husband of Marcy.
Yes, that's true. I actually, when I was living in Oklahoma, I had met, this is another story, but I did meet the original. This was in a mall, and they were promoting Married with Children. And so it was Ed O'Neill and was there to promote it in this mall in Oklahoma somewhere that I was there with my second ex-wife at the time, my second ex. And we also met the other guy that was there less time, right? That was only there for 2 seasons? I forget that actor's name. It's not Faustino. That was, That was the kid, and not Christina Applegate. But who was? See, that's why I love IMDb, because I can look up this stuff.
You mean there was a cousin Oliver on Married with Children?
There was not. No, there wasn't. Okay, so yeah, 1987 to 97. So in Oklahoma, I met him as he was promoting another season of it, or the first season. And let's see. Okay, right. So that was Ted David Garrison. Okay, so in 1987, when I got to meet these guys at a mall, this was later on in the 90s when they were promoting it. It was going to come full circle, and I think that was when he was going to leave. And he played Steve Rhodes for 84 episodes from 87 to 95. But it was when David Garrison and Ed O'Neill were starting out. So, yeah. So, it was cool, because they were saying, oh, you're going to do this Fox thing, Married with Children. And, yeah, it was in a mall. It must have been a mall in Arizona, because I don't think it was Oklahoma. It was a mall in Arizona. I take back what I just said about Oklahoma. Sorry about that. Yeah, it was in Arizona, but yeah, I got to meet them before they started. They were on their Fox promotional tour, and it was during that summer, and I went to this mall, and I saw them, and yeah, it was cool. Yeah, those guys were great. Yeah.
Very, very cool. I'm loving the trivia. David Garrison, there you go. Says
Yeah,
Joe
there he is.
Gutfeld watching in New York State. I got another one for you. This was a spinoff of Different Strokes. And it featured, I don't mean this in a negative way. I just think it's true. Professionally, this guy was the biggest loser in Hollywood because he quit a hit show to go on his own, and he failed at everything he did after that. Talk about McLean Stevenson on MASH. He did Hello, Larry.
Hello, Larry.
Yeah, little theme song there.
My friend
was a
Larry
radio guy. His character
like to be reminded of that, though.
What?
My friend Larry, I told you, has the same name
Larry
as yours,
Bartels.
last name. Larry
Bartels.
Bartels doesn't like to be reminded of that, because I tell him, hello, Larry. I used to do that.
I think I'm Facebook friends with him, Larry Bartels. Anyway, but Hello, Larry was about a DJ in Portland, Oregon, and he was raising two daughters, and one was Ruthie, and it was played by Paris Hilton's aunt, right?
Yes.
And that is what is that chick's name? Joe Gutfeld, help me out in the chat.
Help us out, Joe. I'm gonna let you check that out.
Come from Escape to Witch Mountain, the blonde, and she was in Tough Turf. Kim Richards, that's it. Kim Richards, it came to my brain. But then you had Eric, you had the girl from Jaws 2 as the other daughter, and she got replaced in season 2 by one of the girls from Little Darlings.
Right.
Donna Wilk from Jaws 2 played the other daughter. And then she got replaced in season 2. I hate that when they put a new head on a character without explanation. Just a new actor. You should kill the person off or something. But yeah, Hello, Larry was not good. But McLean Stevenson, he wasn't even good on the later episodes of Match Game. I mean, all of his shows tanked after that. I think that was just such a stupid move to quit MASH at the height of its popularity. He could have gone on and on and on. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. Well, it says here that Hello, Larry lasted for 38 episodes from 1979 to 1980. And remember, the lady was Joanna Gleason, who appeared in a lot of things.
And that's Monty Hall's daughter. And she looked every bit like him. She was not all that attractive.
Right. Yeah, she played Morgan Winslow for 37 episodes. The only two in the series that lasted all the episodes was McLean and Kim Richards, as you said, Ruthie Alder.
Like you said, they brought in Melolark Lemon, the NBA player, into the cast, I think, in season 2.
Yeah, they did. I have a quick story about Melolark Lemon. He was in Scottsdale, Arizona. At the time, I was working one of my last jobs with Safeway Incorporated. He comes through my lane, and I said, I started whistling the Harlem Globetrotters theme, and he whistled right along with me.
Oh dear.
And I said, "Oh my God, you're Meadowlark Lemon." He says, "Yeah." Well, I had only been to one Harlem Globetrotter, basketball game when I was a little kid. When they first came to Phoenix, and they were playing that other team, the Washington Generals at the time, and I remember, So Meadowlark came into my lane. And I said, Mr. Lemon, so glad. He says, no, call me Meadowlark. Call me Meadowlark. I said, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, but did you know I'm a reverend? I said, oh, he became a reverend before he passed away. He was Reverend Meadowlark Lemon. Yes. That's a fun fact.
Harlem Globetrotters were fun to watch as Brainbenders banter in Northern California.
Yes.
Located. Yeah, he was in the Harlem Globetrotters.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, I said NBA.
Yeah, he was with Geese. He was with Geese Osby.
Yeah.
He was with the bald-headed curly guy. I mean, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you need to promote that?
Nope. I'll do it later.
Oh,
I'll do it after you sign off. And we've gone almost 3 hours. I'm loving this. I don't know how much time. I'm almost done with my list. Actually, I'm self-editing. You mentioned this one already. Joni Loves Chachi lasted 2 years, but it's very memorable because it was so bad. It was horrible.
So bad.
So bad. The theme song was bad.
I didn't feel so badly for Joni, the one that played Joni Cunningham, because she did pass recently, I think. Or
she did a few years back. That's sad. Yeah, that's
What was her name again? Memory block. Well, I know Scott Baio.
I never cared for her.
Yeah, Aaron Moran.
Thank you. Yeah, and of course there was a different
Moran. Yeah, Scott Baio. Well, you remember he did. What was that one? He was a babysitter for this family.
Oh, Charles in Charge. Charles in Charge of Nicole Eggert. The lovely Nicole Eggert was one of the girls.
Yeah, Nicole Eggert, who ended up on
Baywatch.
Yep.
And then Scott Baio said Baywatch. He used to brag on Howard Stern's show on E! And on his radio show that he got with Pamela Anderson. He got with Nicole Eggert. He goes, they don't call that show Baywatch. They call it Baywatch.
Yeah.
Because he had relations with all the blondes.
But you want to hear something weird? Maybe this is weird. Maybe it's not. But you know who I really liked on Baywatch? Alexandra Paul.
Uh-huh. I do too.
I loved Alexandra Paul. I wasn't a big Nicole Eggert fan. Not by much. And Pamela Sue Anderson, when she did that movie Barbed Wire, which really stunk.
I saw it in the theater.
Yeah. Sorry. And then I found out just recently, right? They did a reboot of Naked Gun with Liam Neeson playing the titular role. That,
of course, it's in theaters now. They did in third place. It's not doing well at the box office.
I heard that. I heard it was sucking bad.
Yeah.
Pamela Sue Anderson was in it. And I was like, no.
It'll be a sleeper. It's like the old days on cable. We would see a movie a year after the theatrical release on cable, like Somewhere in Time, bombed at the box office. It ran on HBO endlessly, found an audience. I think the same thing will happen with streaming with the Naked Gun movie. But BK mentions a show I'm not familiar with. You want to read that comment aloud for listeners?
Yeah,
please?
Sure can. Remember Star of the Family on ABC back in 1982? It was a short-lived sitcom starring Brian Dennehy. Yeah, I like Brian Dennehy back then. Well, he's not around anymore now, but I mean, yeah, Brian was, he was the prominent feature member that he was the dad and, led the family. It kind of reminded me, of the,
look that up.
What was that one that had, he was in, oh, shoot. I know there's a series I'm forgetting, but I think it lasted longer. 8 is enough. It reminded me of 8 is enough.
Yeah, that's the first thing that Ralph Macchio did in season 5. He was like the cousin Oliver of that show. He was Abby's.
Oh, he destroyed it. Yeah. You're right.
And that show debuted the same night as Three's Company, by the way, in 77.
Yeah.
In March of 77, it was 8 is Enough, and then Three's Company right after.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Let me look up this show. Star of the Family. Brian Dennehy was in the 3rd episode of Dallas playing a real mean dude. JR had slept with his wife, and so he goes to get revenge. He goes to South Fork, and he holds like Pamela Ewing and Lucy Ewing and JR's wife, Sue Ellen, at gunpoint. Him and a younger guy, and like, we're gonna get back at him. We're gonna go after their women. It was a terrible episode. I mean, like it's acting. It's not real. But it was just like, whoa, Brian Dennehy was so menacing in that. Okay, so Star of the Family. Let me see what my TV Bible says. Let's see here. Star of the Family. There it is. Debuted September 30th, 82. Ended December 23rd, 82. I'm just looking at the cast. Yeah, Brian Dennehy's really the only star of that. Well, let me see. It aired Thursday nights at 8:30. I'm just going to look at what it was up against to see why it didn't make it. I'm going to dig deeper, do a deep dive. Thursday at 8:30, 1982. Let's see. So I go to 1982. Thursday at 8:30, 1982.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a look at it too through my the IMDb database. Also,
There, it was opposite Magnum PI, second half. So so people tuned into Magnum PI already, right? So they weren't, yeah. And it was also opposite Fame, based on the movie, another short-lived TV show based on a movie. Fame, I'm gonna live forever.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so Star of the Family. Now that's ironic. Star of the Family only lasted 10 episodes, just like the one we were talking about, The Highwayman.
And you know, it was before
5 years later. Yeah.
Do you know what do you know what the lead-in was for Star of the Family on ABC? Joni Loves Chachi.
Oh God.
It was
so you had back-to-back failures right there.
Well, it's because of Magnum PI. Thomas Magnum put him out of business.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's a well-written show to this day. And
yeah. Okay, I do recognize Michael Dudikoff. He was Dougie Krebs for the 10 episodes of that show. That was, I guess, the son of Brian Dennehy, who played Leslie Buddy Krebs.
Yep.
Catherine Salzberg. She doesn't look that familiar. Amanda Wiss does as Tiffany. She was only in for 2 episodes. Joanna Kearns, who was also in that one with what was that? What was the name of that one? That had Tony Danza in it. Joanna Kearns was in that.
Oh yeah. Who's the boss? Who's the boss?
Who's the boss? There you go. Yeah. Joanna Kearns did show up for 1 episode of this series. Vanna White showed up for 1 episode. Vanna White herself.
Oh, and she was in Married with Children in a real sexy scene. In Al Bundy's Fantasy, or whatever, she shows up in his bed.
Oh yes.
92 or something.
And even TV host Regis Philbin showed up for 1. And then Severin Darden, who's been in he was in the
Planet of the Apes battle.
Planet of the Apes.
There
yes.
you go.
He was
and
in
$6
1
Million
episode
Man.
and $6 Million Man. Yep.
Looking up Wizards and Warriors.
Recognizable names there.
This was not on my list. Wizards and Warriors. I do remember that one. And how about Voyagers? Another fantasy show that lasted.
Voyagers. Yeah, I remember that. Oh, and do you remember Friday the 13th, the series?
Yep.
Oh my God, no! Sliders. That was another one.
I forgot Wizards and Warriors. Who starred was Jeff Conaway from Grease, the movie Grease. Yeah, and Taxi. More importantly, Taxi's known mostly, I guess, for Taxi.
Yes, of course. Yeah, he was better in Taxi.
And it aired from February 26, 83 to May 14th, 83. CBS 8 to 9. It was an hour-long show. Let me see what it was up against. Oh, was it up against Love Boat? I know from by heart.
Right. And don't forget that another, other than Judd Hirsch and Danny DeVito, but the great Andy Kaufman was as Locke was in Taxi. And I remember. Yeah, I remember the song.
There's a local there's a radio campaign for a local HVAC company, and they stole that music. It goes,
they did?
Feels. Yeah, I've played it on my show. Bastiles, heating and cooling, same notes, same music. I can't believe they didn't get
Same
sued.
notes, same fight. Yep.
Wholesale ripoff.
Wow, wholesale ripoff, definitely. Yeah. So, by the way, I'm not a huge Jim Carrey fan, but if you get a chance to rent Man on the Moon, where he plays Andy Kaufman in that movie, fantastic role.
Saw it in the theater, and I agree wholeheartedly. Wizards and Warriors, Saturday Night at 8. Guess what it was up against?
What was that against? Tell me.
T.J. Hooker.
Oh, come on, William Shatner. You're not gonna beat William Shatner, okay?
Right.
Come on.
And on NBC it was opposite Different Strokes and Silver Spoons.
And Silver Spoons, which had Rick Schroeder. He doesn't like being called Little Ricky, and the reason
Aaron Gray.
Yeah, and Aaron Gray. The reason is that my friend Larry Bartels also knows Rick, has been with his production company, so he does know him very well. But one time he made the mistake of calling him Little Ricky, and Rick almost went. True story. I'm telling you what Larry passed on to me about that. So I was like, okay, I'll never call him Little Ricky Schroeder anymore.
I'm skipping ahead because we just mentioned one of the stars of we mentioned Silver Spoons. Joel Higgins was in Silver Spoons, who played the dad.
Yes,
right? But he also was in Best of the West before that, and I loved that Western sitcom from September 8th, 81 to August 23rd, 82. It started on Thursday night on ABC at 8 o'clock, and then they moved it to 8:30 that same night, and then they moved it to Friday night at 9, then Monday at 8, up against Magnum PI and CBS, and Barbara Eden in another good short-lived show, Harper Valley PTA, based on the movie.
Based on the movie, which she reprised her role, right? Because she was in the movie originally. Yes.
That's correct. So that was a good one. And then another one I want to mention, the short-lived one that is memorable, Aftermash, took place after the Korean War. It lasted from September 26th, 83 to December 18th, 84.
Yeah.
One year.
Joe, Erin Gray, of course, we mentioned before, she played Wilma Deering on Buck Rogers in the 25th Century. So, yes, I can totally understand why she would be your big crush. I totally get that.
And what a nice lady.
Did you know in the first one, the very first pilot, was that Barbara Hershey that played the princess or Ardala or whatever her name was?
No. Pamela. BK, are you still out there? Pamela
Easley or
Pamela Hemsley. You said it, yes.
Pamela
Hemsley. I know it.
Okay, that's who I was thinking of.
And previously, before that, she worked for Glennie Larson on the $6 Million Man season 5 in a 2-part episode titled Sharks. They were trying to cash in on the Jaws craze.
The Jaws.
Pamela Hensley, and she was. I think it was the season 5 premiere of $6 Million Man after the big split where Bionic Woman went to ABC and Steve Austin remained on ABC.
Right. So Pamela was in the pilot episode of Buck Rogers as Princess Ardala. Yeah. So
and trivia. It was released theatrically about 6 months before it debuted on TV. It was in the summer, and in Canada, Battlestar Galactica was released in Canada in theaters 6 months before it was on ABC. Before it was on NBC, it was in theater. But did you know the very first Bond villain is in the theatrical version of Buck Rogers in the 25th Century? Robert Wiseman.
You mean Joseph Wiseman?
Joseph Wiseman. That's what I meant. Joseph Wiseman. Yeah, Joseph Wiseman was in the theatrical.
I got you, Chance. I got you, Chance. I got you.
You got me. And then remember, Kane was replaced too by Michael Ansara. The original Kane actor was the guy who played the villain in Sharky's Machine, Henry Silva.
And Michael Ansara was also it was the husband of Barbara Eden.
Joe's taking off. You know we've gone too long when Joe's signing off. He's diehard. He's always watching everything.
Oh,
what were you saying though? Sorry, Joe. What did you say?
I was saying that Michael Ansara did marry Barbara Eden from Jeannie. I Dream of Jeannie.
Yes, he did, and they produced the only child that she ever had, who sadly died of a drug overdose. Their son, sadly, not to be morbid, it's just a fact. Just the fact.
Yeah, not to bring things down. Yes, right.
I saw the Buck Rogers movie. Yeah.
Yeah, and by the way, that pilot movie is available on YouTube if you look for it.
Yep.
And the intro music, which was totally different from the show itself and the narration is also there. So you can
Well,
find
the music's the same by Stu Phillips, but there's lyrics. It's like a James Bond opening, and you see Pamela, you see Aaron Gray in bikinis. It's like a James Bond movie opening. Wouldn't you not
Stu
agree?
Phillips, right? You're right.
It's
that
still
guy,
the
yeah.
same theme, but it's a variation of it. So you're right. But they have
Yeah, it is.
lyrics. They have
Because
lyrics.
they have lyrics that they were singing. Yeah.
And it is on YouTube.
Oh,
You're
and by
right.
the way, it starts off where he takes off in 1987, and then he
right.
ends up in what was it, 2491?
2491.
Over 500 years
Memory.
later. Yeah.
Oh my God. Did you have any memories of Best of the West, by the way, before I move on beyond that one? No?
Best of the West. No,
You don't remember
I
it?
don't recall that very well.
Joel Higgins.
No.
Okay, I love that show because he had this character Frog, played by Tracy Reed. He was like a half-wit. Okay, enough said. If you can't speak to it, another one, real quick. It was a takeoff on Saturday Night Live Fridays on ABC. That was a memorable.
I do remember Fridays. Also on NBC was SCTV. With
Loved
John
it.
Candy and all those
Loved
guys.
it from Canada, from your neck of the woods where you are currently, at Second City Television, right?
Yes,
Toronto.
SCTV.
Toronto, yeah.
I remember all that. Catherine,
Catherine O'Hara.
One of my favorite ladies from SCTV was Catherine O'Hara.
It was,
and she was just in the recent Beetlejuice. She came back. Winona Ryder came back, and she came back in the second one, in the Beetlejuice movie, which brought back Michael Keaton. So yeah.
Larry David was in Fridays, as was Kramer from Seinfeld. Pre-Kramer, Michael Richards.
Michael Richards, who played
Kramer, Seinfeld.
Kramer, yeah.
Should I stop and we'll do another? You want to come back next week and continue? Because I have so many more to talk about with you.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. You want to do it at the same time?
Yeah. Yes, I would like to. I just think we should probably stop. I think people are getting tired and we have gone over 3 hours, but
yeah, well, we're diehard people. We stay up and everything. By the way, after we're done here, I will stay up for another half hour and answer any questions from anybody on my StreamYard. It's just going to be an after party for about half an hour or so. I already have my window open, so I can start at any time after we're done here. So if anybody wants to come by our Mikey Sus 4 channel, check it out. It won't be an open panel. It'll just be kind of an after party, but I'll answer any questions anybody wants from the chat. And so, yeah,
yes, and the link is in the chat. If you're watching in the replay crew, I'm going to link it right now. Let me link your channel so it's fresh, and I'll pin it to the top. That's what I'll do. I'll pin your channel to the top after this is live. I just have to play a couple of movie reviews from JT after we stop talking about Wednesday. I want to play JT, the Man in the Seats review of Wednesday, and Weapons, a movie I worked on that I talked about. Want to see what JT?
Yeah, Weapons should be cool. Yeah, with Josh Brolin. Right.
Josh Brolin, that's right, and the Silver Surfer and Wong, colloquially speaking. Good night to all. I'm still going, BBB, just for a little bit, but I just think, well, I mean, you're welcome to stay. I'm just going to stop talking about the TV shows, I think. I mean, because I've gone so long. What do you want to do? What do you want to do, Mikey? I'm not booting you.
I think that we should do a part 2 of this.
Okay.
Next week, same, as they like to say, same bat time, same bat channel.
I love it, man. You're awesome. Well, let's do it next week at 7:30 Eastern time, 4:30 Pacific. That'd be Friday the 16th, I guess. Friday the 16th of August, 2020.
Friday the
15th or 16th?
15th.
15th.
Yeah,
Friday the 15th.
August 15th. Okay. Sounds
cool.
Good.
All right, man. Well, you're welcome to hang out. You got to split and do your after party? Or are you going to hang?
I'm willing to hang out for a couple more minutes. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll hang out to the top of the hour. Then I'll just go ahead and do my
you just
hour.
duck out when you need to move on. Just duck out.
Okay.
I'll leave you on panel, and
awesome.
Just duck out. So whenever you're ready. All right. So I was going to just talk about. Let me see what else I had. All right. I already mentioned Project UFO. We talked about Jane Badler. Oh, I wanted to say, where the hell is it? I'm going to play a clip. It's time to play. I need to rest.
I think we just lost him. All right,
No,
Chance
I'm
will
here.
be back. Oh,
I'm here. StreamYard's doing a new thing. When I click from my pictures to video, it kicks me off the thing. That's a new glitch. All I did is in my media. Are you familiar with StreamYard? It kicks me off. That's weird.
Weird. Yeah, it is weird.
But I do have some more video pertaining to what we're talking about with classic TV and stuff.
All right.
I'm gonna play a promo from back
so go
in the
ahead and play
day.
your promo. And like I said, up at the top of the hour, I'll promote my channel, and I'll say, we'll be back to do a part 2 of this next Friday at 7:30.
I'm so looking forward to it. Excellent. Well, here's an 18-second promo for the Love Boat and Fantasy Island, the powerhouse Saturday night lineup on ABC.
Saturday's a special night on the Love Boat when the captain's past catches up with him.
Are you going to tell me about sex?
And she wants her daddy. Then on Fantasy Island, an old flame returns to stay.
I love you.
And the boss finally gets his fantasy to come true. Tomorrow.
So good. I was happy for Ricardo when he got the that actress was Samantha Egger.
Yeah, and he had those like dark powers. He was semi-dark. I have on 16mm reel-to-reel film the pilot to Fantasy Island. Bill Bixby's in it. Bill Bixby's in a World War II story with Victoria Principal right before Dallas debuted. I'll never sell that one. Oh, speaking of Bill Bixby, here's a 30-second Friday night spot for CBS Friday night.
Friday, Wonder Woman swings into action with guest stars Lawrence McCutcheon, Roman Gabriel, and Deacon Jones to foil a fix on college football games. Next, a story of speed and sabotage.
Gas and that car leaks.
We gotta stop the race. Bill Bixby stars in The Incredible Hulk. Then join Lisa, Marcy, and Pam for thrills and adventure on Flying High.
Someone to land the plane.
Fridays starting at 8, 7 Central and Mountain.
Nice.
Flying High, that's another one-hit wonder. It wasn't even a hit, though. But that was Connie Selica, the brunette.
Connie Selica, yes.
From The Greatest American Hero years later.
Correct. She played Pam Davison in that.
That's
William
right.
Cat, 3 seasons. And by the way, like I said, all 3 seasons right now, as far as I know, are still available on YouTube for Greatest American Hero. All 3 seasons, all their episodes, all 44 episodes. And there was, believe it or not, back in 1987, 4 years later after it ended on NBC, there was The Greatest American Heroine.
Yes. And
it only lasted the pilot. After the pilot, they got rid of it. But it kept Culp, who was
Robert Culp.
Robert Culp, and then it kept Kat and Connie, and it was The Greatest American Heroine, Heroine. Only lasted 1 episode, and that was in 1987. It was on
BK on the that's right. And it was 87 with a female heroine, and it did not sell. BK on the Air is on terrestrial radio. I told you earlier. He's on tomorrow morning, Saturday. You might want to check it out, 10 a.m. to noon. Really good show. He mentions one I'm not familiar with. He's about your age. You're about a year older than him. Covington Cross, 1982, the year My Flock Is Everywhere was born in Southern California. One of our regulars in my Power Mod. Aired on ABC. It includes stars from the film Excalibur. I love Excalibur.
I love Excalibur.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes. The one, correct me if I'm wrong, BK, but Alex Hyde White, who was in Excalibur, that's the first actor that came to mind. He reprised his role in the Covington Cross. I believe he did.
Xanadu, his voice anyway.
Yeah.
Which debuted today back
That's the only one I can think of, though, Alex Hyde White, because there was some other actors from Excalibur. Yeah.
He had a good voice. And he was in Buck Rogers in the 25th Century in that terrible season 2 where they tried to make it like Star
Trek. Terrible season 2 when they were on the Searcher.
And they replaced.
Why did you take it away from Earth? Why did you do that?
And that terrible voice replacement for Mel Blanc. I mean, they didn't even try to get a sound alike.
They didn't even try.
Right. At least when they got rid of Gilbert, the voice of Aflac Duck, when there was a controversy about a tweet he made about a tsunami in Japan, at least they auditioned people. I auditioned to do the Aflac. They tried to keep it the same, right? Why wouldn't they try to keep someone similar? I mean, that Twiggy sounded entirely different. in season 2.
Yeah,
and then they got him back.
Yeah, and then
They
I
got Ruffalo
forget
back.
the name of the actor, but who played the Hawkman in that second season? Which
Christopher, he just died. Christopher, yeah. Christopher.
Christopher, yeah. That didn't do well. Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. And Barbara Luna played his mate. She's the captain's woman. You're watching season 2 of Star Trek. She's in Mirror Mirror. She played Marlena.
Yes, she is. But if you also watch The Fairest of Them All from the one season that Vic Mignogna did, he did 11 episodes of Star Trek Continues, and in the third episode, The Fairest of Them All, we take it from the other side. We take it from the Terran Empire side of it, where Vic plays the evil Kirk on that side, who came back after they were accidentally transported, and Barbara Luna's daughter plays the lady in that one. So, yeah. In that episode.
I hope BK's watched by now. I gave
BK
BK a gift of The Invaders on DVD. I hope he's seen the Barbara Luna episode of that. It's called Storm. She plays an alien. It's starring Roy Finnis. That lasted 2 seasons. That should have been on my list. But BK told me about this because I was talking about Jillian play in Star Trek 4, the love interest of Kirk from our century or the 20th century, 1986.
Dead of Honor, right?
Played by Catherine Hicks. He said she returned in this graphic novel, and there she is. I love that uniform. And
Catherine Hicks, yeah.
It's Star Trek Debt of Honor. If you like that character of Jillian, the marine biologist,
yes,
you might want to read this. And that's pretty cool.
Okay, so BK corrected himself. He said that Covington Cross came out in 1992.
Yes.
Aired on NBC. Okay.
So it won't be in my book.
Not 82. Okay.
My book goes through 1988, so I have to do a Google search for details on that. But maybe that's why I don't remember it. I don't know.
I'm not sure about that.
Look at this. You want to read that?
Okay. Yeah, sure. Alex Hyde White also plays Mr. Fantastic in the 1994 unreleased Fantastic Four and has a cameo in the new Fantastic Four First Steps. Yes, he does. I saw him. Yep. Alex Hyde White.
And I don't know if you heard this, BK, Barry King. He saw the movie with his wife, my guest Mikey, and they both liked it.
We liked it.
Yep.
Yeah, we gave it a B grade. I mean, it reminds you of old 70s, 80s Panavision, without going too much into it. But I did a review. I did a quick review of Fantastic Four First Steps earlier in my channel, so check it out. I will. It's a good one. Yeah.
I didn't know you did. I'm glad you mentioned that. I did not know that you did a review of SF.
We're probably gonna go into it. There's a couple of my friends named Scott and Elijah who want to go more into Fantastic Four First Steps. So as soon as we can get that arrangement together, the three of us will talk about that movie. So there will be some spoilers though. So you got to see it first before you come and watch our show when we do it. So
it's unfortunate. I will, and it's unfortunate the box office has dropped. I mean, I don't understand that, but
I don't either.
A friend of mine, Danny Cochran, went and saw it, and he walked out a third of the way in. I think he was drunk, and I tried to do a review with him, and it was a total disgrace. Danny, if you're watching, no offense. Dude, you can't review a movie if you've not seen it. That's just a fact. Just the facts, ma'am. Just the facts, sir. Sorry.
That's true. But there is a guy involved with Star Trek named Alec Peters, and Alec Peters and I are good friends. And I've been on one of his shows, and he was the one that put together. I think it was Star Trek. It was a fan film that he put together. I think it was called Andor or something like that. Not Andor. I'm sorry, not Andor. Yeah, darn it, I forget what it was. Anyway, but Alec, was going to do more, Star Trek fan films beyond, and he couldn't do it because Paramount shut him down. So he's been trying to get back at Paramount because now they've had a merger, right, with Skydance and things like that. So he's trying to get back to creating his fan films again. But there was a good one he put out, and it didn't. He wasn't able to do anything else after that. Alec Peters, though, keep his name in your minds because he's going to try to put out some more Star Trek fan films.
I got a lot more questions for you. It's almost the top of the hour, but Jim Von Spiegel saw Weapons today and loved it. I'm going to play a review in a minute. And I worked on that movie, and I don't know if you remember the scene with the parents and they're questioning where's our kids, and I'm one of the parents, and I'm with Josh Brolin chasing into the parking lot at night the teacher, played by the actress who plays the Silver Surfer in the Fantastic Four. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't seen it. Look, here's another one from BK. Tucker's Witch with Catherine Hicks and Tim Matheson, 82 to 83. Yeah, that was right after that was right after the Bad News Bears TV version of the movie bit the dust.
But also, but from what I wonder of Tucker's Witch, what I remember from Tucker's Witch watching it, it was just a bad parody of Bewitched. It didn't really do well.
And how about I put this on the list, Tabitha, that with Lisa Hartman Black. Well, then Lisa Hartman playing Tabitha. That was it lasted just a few weeks. Remember that?
Right. Yes.
Tabitha.
Yeah.
Let me look up Tucker's Witch. I remember that scene. Yeah. And remember the principal played by Wong is going, stay back. He's like, please. I'm getting a cold. Please. And it's just me and him. It's just like two or three of us. I need to see it. I don't like movies where kids. I'm going to contradict myself because I've said in the past that I like horror movies just for variation where kids are killed, not to be morbid or weird. I just like grisly or whatever, but I don't like movies that are real, like of a realistic nature that show kids being harmed. Like this movie where there's kids kidnapped or disappeared. I did a movie called Prisoners with Hugh Jackman. I've never seen to this day in a small scene room photographer about missing kids. I don't know. Isn't that weird? Like, I don't know. I mean, it's not real. I'm in reality, but about horror movies, like I have different rules than I do about movies like that. But I do want to see. If you say it's good, I trust your opinion, Jim Von Spiegel. Then I'll probably catch Weapons at the Flicks. Let me look up this Tucker's Witch. Tucker's Witch.
Yeah. Then after you look at Tucker's Witch, then that's when I'll let you go and. Okay. And then I'll just promote my channel real quick.
Please do. All right, Tucker's Witch.
Yeah.
Oh, here it is.
Go ahead with that, and then I can. Yeah.
Detective drama. It debuted October 6th, 82. It ended on August 8th. Today, as we're live, 1983. And it aired on CBS Wednesdays at 10, from 10 to 11 with Tim Matheson, Catherine Hicks, and Barbara Barry. I like her. And
I like Barbara Barry, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I like another one on my list, Double Trouble. Didn't get to it. We can talk about it next time. Double Trouble with Katie Seagal's sisters, the twin sisters, Katie Seagal from Married with Children.
Right. Yeah, that's a good one. That was a decent one.
And it does have a dash of Bewitched. BK, I don't know this show. I'm going to have to look this up. Tucker's Witch.
Yeah.
You know it there, Mikey.
Okay,
well, Mike, let me make it big. Let's do your promo.
Yeah, okay.
Bam, you have the floor.
Oh, there we go. Okay. So, again, I want to say I'm absolutely honored and blessed to be a part of Chance Bartel's Nostalgic Podblast. It was fantastic. This was so much fun. Lots of great memories. And I can't wait to do part 2 next week at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, next Friday on the 15th August. What I'm doing right now is just trying to finish the 4 pop culture shows I've been covering Mondays and Tuesdays now at 12 noon Eastern time. On Mondays, I'm covering 2 episodes of Red Dwarf and 2 episodes of the original TOS Star Trek, which lasted for 3 seasons. And we're on season 12 because there's only like 13 seasons of Red Dwarf. So we're on season 12 with that. We're almost done. And then we're on season 2 of TOS. And then on Tuesdays, my two of my favorite shows. I loved Get Smart because I thought it was the perfect James Bond parody series, next to Man from U.N.C.L.E., of course. But I loved Don Adams. I loved Barbara Feldon, the late Edward Platt. Dick Gautier also passed. I mean, the only one left is Barbara Feldon. So, as far as I know. So yeah, I do 2 episodes. I'm on season 2 of that, and then the greatest show, in my honest opinion, for 5 seasons. It was fantastic. Yes, there was like 2 or 3 people that totally died, in the whole thing. People say nobody died, but yes, there was a few people that died. And I'll be talking about one of them, General Fulbright, played by the wonderful Jack Ging, who is no longer with us during season 4. But I am on 2 episodes of season 4 for next Tuesday. So make sure you check me out on those shows Mondays and Tuesdays, those webcams I do. I'll be doing part 2 here with Chance next Friday. And of course, I also work with a friend of mine named Gorilla's Random Thoughts. And he does on Thursdays, he does 4 episodes. We do a watch party of Twilight Zone. And on Friday nights, we do a review of the Waltons. And right now we're on season 5 of that. Episode 6, which is going to be called The Night Walker. I believe that'll be next Friday sometime. So, and we usually do that. But I like doing this show, so I'll be doing that next week. So.
And TOS is the original series of Star Trek. And that's pretty cool. A Lorimore production, the Waltons, just like 8 is Enough. I love Lorimore.
Lorimar. Yeah,
Lorimar. Yeah. And you mentioned Jack Ging. Or Ging. He was in that $6 Million Man Kill Oscar Part 2. He played, remember, one of the agents in a mustache?
He did. Yeah, Jack Ging did. Yes.
He was.
I remember.
Steve Austin was a robot.
Favorite.
He thought Steve Austin was a robot. He ran like a Geiger counter on his legs and detected the nuclear material that his bionics have in them and thought he was a robot. Anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Well, those, this will be the last thing I mentioned, but out of like I said, anything that involved a robot, whether it was and the 3-part Kill Oscar, which covered the Bionic Woman, $6 Million Man, Bionic Woman, which featured again the great John Houseman. And there's that part in the third one where she says, "If I have to carry you out, Dr. Franklin, I will." He says, "No, no, 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 no," which is Jamie Summers ready to pick him up and go,
Yep.
And the person I feel bad, and then it happened again on Bionic Woman, Fembots in Las Vegas, which lasted for 2 episodes.
2 weeks. 2 episodes.
2 episodes. And the Dr. Franklin's son was a combination of electronics and human-like, caricature is how Franklin created him. And then, of course, again,
a robot, because his real baby had died, he said, as an infant.
Right.
So he was a complete robot. And it's played by Burns, who was in Dragnet. He was the druggie that had an overdose, the blue boy or whatever, the blue. Remember that? With the blue face?
I remember that.
Dragnet?
Yes. Yeah. And the one person you have to feel bad for in that 3 episode arc of the 2 shows and of the 2 episodes, Callahan. She was always kidnapped. She was always the one.
Jennifer Darling. I met her in Burbank, California in 2007. Really nice lady.
You met her? Is she really nice?
Oh, yeah. I got her autograph right here.
Oh, yeah. Let's take a look at that before I go. Yeah, because I will head out here in another minute or so. So I can do my show here for about half an hour.
Yeah.
Try to get some of my folks to hit me at this late hour. Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to see that. Yep, Jennifer. Yep.
Oh, man.
Poor Callahan.
I'll save it for next week because I can't find it at the moment, but it's here. She signed a nice autograph. I'll show it next week.
Okay, that'll be great. Yeah, we'll talk about more of those shows and everything. So take care, everybody. Thank you so much. Chance, please.
Thank you. And thanks for your kind words. I really appreciate your kind words and being a part of the Podblast. And I hope to see you next week and on maybe a permanent basis down the line.
Hey, maybe so. Let me know, okay? I got all the time in the world since I'm retired. So.
You're a talker. I know. You're a busy guy. I love all you do. I'm going to check out your reviews of the Waltons and Star Trek, the original series, and everything else. And after this is live, will you leave a comment so that I can pin it with your channel so people can subscribe to you?
Oh, you mean to put in my channel link there in the comment?
All you have to do is leave a comment, and then people will know, will see your channel, and I'll pin it to the top in the comment section. Does that make sense?
Sounds good. Yes, I will. Okay.
All right, my brother. Take care. Thank you, Mikey.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you, everyone in the chat. Have a good one.
There's Mikey. I like him a lot. Now let's get right to the movie review because I do have to sign off. I've gone 3.5 hours. let's talk about Wednesday Addams with our man in the seats, JT, and then he'll review weapons for us. Let's start with Wednesday.
Hello, this is Movie Reviews by JT, and I got another review for you. Wednesday, Season 2, Part 1, Episode 1 and 4. The second season of Wednesday is here. The first part, Wednesday was a great show. I loved the first season in 2021. General Ortega knocks it out of the park again as Wednesday Addams and show more of Gomez, Morticia, and Puzzley this time. I'll show Uncle Fester again. And I also got new people on there like Steve Buscemi. The second season, the first part was great. I enjoyed it. Episodes 1 and 4 and everything. And the second part drops next month. The rest of the season, the main 4 episodes, I wish they would have dropped season 2 all at one that they did for the first season, all the episodes. But I'm excited for the second part of season 2 of Wednesday. And everything. I really love this show a lot. It's a great show. And everything. It's creepy, weird, and everything. Tim Burton. And so I really enjoyed this show a lot. And I can't wait for the second part. And everything. And and everything just more crazy this time than the first season was and everything. And And I can't wait for the rest of the season to drop next month, the rest of the episodes and everything. So that's my review for Wednesday, Season 2, Part 1, Episodes 1 and 4. All right, bye.
Thank you, JT. The popcorn is in the mail. Now, he did double duty for us. Here's his review of Weapons. This is 1 minute and 41 seconds long. Take it away, JT.
Hello, this is Movie Reviews by JT, and I got another review for you. Weapons, directed by Zach Krieger, who directed Barbarian. Weapons was a good horror film. It was crazy, weird, strange. Couple of jump scares. Edge of my seat the whole time in the theater today watching this film. Really enjoyed that a lot and everything. Zach Krieger directing is great. Knocked it out of the park again with this film. The performances by Julia Gardner, Josh Brolin, Alden Ehrenreich, Benedict Wong. All amazing performances in this film. And it's a good horror film. It was one of my most anticipated movies this summer and everything. One of the best films I've seen this year and everything. And I can't wait to watch it again when it comes to streaming very soon and everything. And it was a great film. I enjoyed it and everything. And hope people go out and see this movie in theaters this weekend. And I think you're really going to enjoy this film a lot and everything. And I was so hyped for this film and everything. And it was great. I really enjoyed this film a lot. I give Weapons a 9 out of 10. Definitely go see this movie in theaters this weekend and everything. So that's my review for Weapons. All right. Bye.
Bye. Okay. Popcorn's in the mail. All right. I thought it was a drama. I didn't even know, because I didn't see the script, that it was a horror movie. Ooh. Wow. Okay. That's different. All right. So, I want to say, I'm glad that BK tuned in and gave all of those great recommendations of short-lived shows, many I'd never heard of or even thought of. Great interaction. I also want to thank him for introducing me to James Install of Geek to Me Radio, because I actually got to meet him at FarleyCon. He wasn't a guest. I think maybe he had FarleyCon, which is a convention in Chattanooga, Tennessee. He had the owner or the originator of that convention on his radio show on KTRS. He's on Sunday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern time. It's a 1-hour show. 7 o'clock Pacific time on KTRS St. Louis, the big 550 KTRS. And anyway, he flew in from St. Louis to Chattanooga. So I thought, you know what? If he's this close, I'm just going to drive up, shop for some comic books, and meet him. And that's what I did. And as a joke, because I learned this from listening to BK's show, BK on the Air, he's not necessarily a fan of the movie Jaws. So I wore this Jaws shirt. And there's James. He's doing a face like, and I wore that under my Hawaiian shirt. But it was nice to meet him. And I shot a little video down there. I'm going to play a little bit of it. It's on my YouTube channel, The Nostalgic Podblast. But here's just a shortened version, a couple minutes of the sights and sounds of FarleyCon 2025.
First Squirrel Girl. Good wall books up there. Looks like the second appearance of Ghost Rider, the Marvel Spotlight. Let's see. Journey to Mystery. Mouth-watering books. Whoa. The Marauder.
This is really bad audio for the listeners at Fistful of Radio or Spotify or Apple. I'm just filming pins, comic books. I don't know why I'm doing that accent. I sound like a fool.
I mean, I don't know where to begin. Oh, yeah. There's the man with the plan, J.R. Ewing, right there. See how much that is, or what it is.
I'm showing a J.R. Ewing puzzle.
It's a puzzle.
From a little mini, toy dealer.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff here. I don't know where to begin.
Now I'm showing some record albums. Glenn Campbell.
Late great Glenn Campbell. Can't speak.
Clips over in about 10 seconds. Just showing some more comic books. What they call wall books. Mouth-watering books. Yeah, I said that 3 times. Anyway, actually, there was a logical reason for me doing that accent. It was because a lot of people don't like you to film their stuff, and I was just trying to act like a simpleton, basically. Not that Southerners are simpletons. I'm a Southerner. I was born in White Plains, New York. I was only there for like a day or a week, and then our family moved to Dallas, Texas, and then I moved to Atlanta when I was 2 with my family. But I found the second appearance of Deadpool at that show for $2. And just some other stuff. I bought James Install a copy of the Superman 3 adaptation that I have in my collection. Sorry, Jane. And anyone watching on camera, it's right there. I saw it in a $2 box, mint condition, and I got that for him as a gift. And what's nice about this comic is there's really nice shots. One I'd never seen, by the way, of Chris Reeve. Not this one. From the Junkyard Battle. But it's this one. I like this picture of Chris Reeve right there on the inside. So, and then there's another photo in full color right there. So it's kind of a neat. And James said to me, I didn't know they made a Superman 3 comic book adaptation. He goes, I knew about Superman 4. I said, yeah, there's one right there. So I bought him that adaptation. And it was good to meet him. So tune into Geek to Me Radio. I didn't mention yet the name of the show. I'm so bad. Geek to Me Radio, and it's on YouTube as well. YouTubers, anyone watching me now on YouTube or after the fact on YouTube or Facebook Live for 30 days anyway. Geek to Me Radio is on Facebook Live and on YouTube Live and on terrestrial radio Sunday nights from 10 to 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Go to the Geek to Me Radio Facebook group or page. Can't remember if it's a group or a page, but it's on Facebook. And subscribe to his YouTube channel at Geek to Me Radio. All right. Well, I'm going to play a little song, take a break. There have been so many celebrity deaths. I'm so sad about Lonnie Anderson and many, many more, going back to Ozzy Osbourne. I mean, it's been brutal, a brutal summer. And did you know Lonnie Anderson, she wore a wig like Dolly Parton. And I don't know if that's so she wouldn't be recognized in public, without it. But other actresses that wore wigs, like Audra Lindley, the Ropers, that was a wig. Did you know that? That curly hair that Mrs. Roper in Three's Company, that was a wig for her character. Just like Flo and Alice, that obviously was a wig. But these people look completely different without their hair pieces on, I think. So, all right. Well, Jane, let me get that glare off you, dear. There we go. So in light of all these celebrity deaths, it's very, very sad. And my friend Jim Niarchos, I talked about last week at the end of my interview with Open by Chance Toy Museum, Open by Chance Toys YouTube. I mentioned Jim Niarchos passed away. He was just a personal ally to me. He helped me on the business side of radio for many years, and he co-hosted a show called the All Four Seasons Home Improvement Show, and with Dan Watkins of All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. And I'm really sad that he is no longer with us. We went to many Braves games behind home plate, concerts. Just really sad. Been to his home too. Anyway, so in light of that, let's celebrate another day of living for us. This is meant as no disrespect to those we lost, but just stay healthy. I'm under the weather with a cold. I'm on the tail end of it. I think hopefully I'll be over it pretty soon. But let's celebrate another day of living with this. I've played it before. Another corny, but I love it. I'll be honest. Donnie Marie tune.
Slipping away, isn't it a pity? Didn't find time to call.
Ready or not, gonna make it to the city. This is the night to go to the celebrity ball. I just want to celebrate another day of living. I just want to celebrate another day of life.
Had my hands on a dollar bill, and the dollar bill blew away.
But the sun is shining down on me, and it's here to stay, yeah, yeah.
So I'm telling you,
I just want to celebrate, yeah, yeah. Another day of living, yeah. I just want to celebrate another day of life.
Good evening and welcome to our show. Tonight, in a special tribute to television, our guests are Desi Arnaz, Milton Berle, Howdy Doody and Buffalo Bob Smith, Peggy Fleming,
George Gobel, Arthur Godfrey, Lauren Green, Bob Hedges,
Art Linkletter, Gail Storm,
the Osmond Brothers, our own Ice Vanities, and our special guest star, Colin. I just want to celebrate, yeah, yeah. Another day of living, yeah. I just want to celebrate another day of life.
don't let it all get you down, no, no.
Don't let it turn you around and around and around and around and around and round and round. Celebrate, celebrate, dance to the music.
Celebrate, celebrate,
Dance to the music.
celebrate, celebrate,
Dance to the music.
celebrate, celebrate,
Dance to the music. Take it, Peggy Fleming.
All right, I'll stop it right there. Have a really great week, great weekend. I want to thank my guest, Mikey, and I want to thank all the wonderful chat comments. I want to thank those that gave a super chat, like Brain Bender's Banter and Tracy's Fractured History and more. Much appreciated. Thanks to BK on the Air for chiming in with some excellent suggestions and remembrances of TV shows we remember that didn't last very long. Thanks to everybody. Have a great rest of your weekend or week, and don't let the dragons get you. Play us off, Mr. Roy. But before that, I got to remind you about Remind Magazine. Remind Magazine, really quickly. Remind Magazine, you can give for the first year a whole year of fun in your gift recipient's mailbox, or a gift to yourself for just $12. Go to remindmagazine.com. What's great about Remind Magazine is it's all about nostalgia. The 1950s, 1960s, 1970s, and 1980s, and 1990s. That's their wheelhouse with comics, games, and puzzles and interviews with your favorite stars, well-written articles, and best part, you get a huge discount. It's normally $5.99 plus tax at a newsstand at, say, a Barnes & Noble. Well, you can give a whole year for $12. You can't even get a streaming service for $12 for a month. I mean, after the introductory special runs out, right? Then they jack up the price on you. Not Remind Magazine. And the best part of all is that people will think of you all year round if you give it as a birthday gift, and they'll think you spend a hell of a lot more than just $12. So go to remindmagazine.com and mention the Nostalgic Podblast when you order. Now, Mr. Louis Roy is going to play us out for real with the Space Giants American theme, his orchestration of it. I love this. I love you. Thank you for being a part of the Nostalgic Podblast. See you next week when Mikey returns. Good night. Oh, damn. I thought I could put the picture up of Remind Magazine while it played. I hate to make mistakes. I have a cold, folks, and I took a Mucinex, and I think my mind is mush right now. There's Remind Magazine now. I thought I could switch it while I played the outro music. So for the third time, here's Louis Roy with the Space Giants American theme, his orchestration of it. Good night.